The following is a presentation of the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Still a chilly afternoon in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, but we're getting ready for Game 2 of Waynesburg and Allegheny. Allegheny took Game 1 by a final score of 15-0 in 7 innings. Waynesburg's looks to fare a little bit better in the back half of this twin bill to open up President's Athletic Conference play. Good afternoon, everybody. Anthony DeFilippo alongside Ethan Spazarski to bring you this Game 2. It's rainy, it's cold, Ethan, but it's opening day baseball nonetheless.
Nonetheless, however, for opening PAC play, not the way you want to start. Ending in a ruined run rule due to the 15-0 start. Really no offensive prowess from Waynesburg. No one making it past third base. Pitching, go deep a little bit into the depth chart in Game 1, utilizing 4 different pitchers. So right now, key for Waynesburg is just that memory of a goldfish mentality, kind of moving on to that next game, what is up next. Right now, score is 0-0, and that's the most important part. And for Ethan Earhart, who's coming out to get the start for Waynesburg, that's going to be a big key thing for him as well.
Let's meet Ethan Earhart. This game number 2 starter is not fared so well so far. He's faced some tough lineups. A Wilkes University lineup in Florida had to come back and face a tough Muskingum lineup last week. It looks to fare just a little bit better. We'll meet the defense for the Yellow Jackets here in a second, but Tommy Lansness steps in for the Allegheny Gators to kick things off. We're underway here in just a moment, trying to get this game started as the rain falls and the wind blows. The first pitch delivered in there for a strike from Ethan Earhart, the junior from Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Earhart 1-2 overall record. He's pitched 13.1 innings, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks so far in the year.
Second pitch to Lansness, down low for a ball, evens the count up at 1-1. Lansness, the sophomore, has played in all 12 games for Allegheny coming into today, hitting .405, a scorching hot Allegheny Gators lineup to begin their non-conference play. Lansness scorches one down the first base line and well foul. It's 1-2. It's kind of been the underlying issue for this Waynesburg pitching staff. Maybe not so underlying. It's kind of obvious. The fly balls have really hurt this team, giving up a plethora of home runs. But if the ball stays on the ground, that's when this team's at their best. The 1-2 bounced in the dirt, so Earhart has evened things up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Earhart to Lansness inside, so the first batter that Ethan Earhart faces runs the count full. Earhart last season had a .537 ERA that followed up a strong freshman season from the righty. The full count offering is low, and so the Gators pick up right where they left off in game number 1. They have a base runner in Tommy Lansness.
Yeah, well put together there. A little aggressive to start early in the count, but then you see Lansness kind of just calm himself down, let the pitches come to him. Earhart kind of works around the zone instead of finding it, and then with that patience, Lansness now finds himself on first base.
Brings up Matt Jennings, the righty, as Lansness gets his lead off of first. It's Trent Giraffa over there as a strike is delivered. Around the rest of the infield, Dalton Mounts at second. Noah Gabriel starting at short for the second consecutive game. Caden Flambard makes his first collegiate start at third. In the outfield left to right, it's Mosley, Hamrick, and Englemore. That's lined into right field by Jennings. Lansness takes his turn around second base, heads for third. And so a single from Matt Jennings puts runners at the corners, nobody out for Allegheny. They're in business after winning 15-0 in game number 1. First 2 runners on base.
Yeah, for Allegheny, they're really the weather. Can't really blame it on that one. That hit just laces right through down that right sideline, rolling right near Alec Englemore, and good base running and awareness by Lansness. He gets the good start on the jump. He finds his way rounding second, hits third, and then also you got to give credit there with Jennings. Well aware, doesn't try to force anything, force a slide down at second. He's very aware and keeps his single instead of risking it for being an out. Keeps
this powerful top half of the lineup moving with Tyson Bryant Dotson, who's one of the speedier players in the PAC. Doesn't have a lack of power either. The first pitch was delivered outside for ball 1. hitting .424 coming into today's doubleheader. That's good for 11th in the President's Athletic Conference. Has runners on first and third. Tap foul to the backstop. Off the new catcher for this game, Seth Bergdolt's mask. Him and Williams essentially swapping spots defensively. And Earhart has Bryant Dawson in a 1-1 count. The next pitch, right in there for a strike. Earhart gets ahead of Bryant Dawson. It's 1-2. Earhart looking to work out of some early trouble. No damage done yet from the Gators. Bryant Dawson looks to do it here. The pitch, runner going. Throw down to second base is well short. And so a stolen base for Matt Jennings. Lansness stays put at third, but there's 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch was a ball, so it's 2-2 now to Bryant Dawson, a pair of runners in prime position. Bryant Dawson, 3 home runs on the season, 13 RBI coming into today. Awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Ethan Earhart. It's low, so 3-2 to Tyson Bryant Dawson, who's looking to follow up the leadoff walk from Lansness, and then the single from Matt Jennings that stretched Lansness all the way over to third, and the stolen base as well. It's a 3-2 count in a scoreless game, top of the first inning. Nobody out. Earhart's offering. Swung on, tap to the left side. Flambar throws home to Bergdold. He applies the tag. There's the first out of the inning. The runner at second, and Jennings stays put. Bryant Dawson reaches on the fielder's choice. That goes 5-2. Still a scoreless game and a big out for Ethan Earhart.
Yeah, great work. And then Trent Giraffe, great awareness. Doesn't force it over to first. He knows he has the positioning to get the out at home. Waynesburg does, and they're now 1 out closer, getting out unscathed from this Allegheny offense.
Still 1 out. Runners on first and second, so the damage is not completely cleared yet, but a first pitch strike to Tyler Skaggs. Skaggs coming into today, another red-hot hitter, .472. 11 RBI on the year. Next pitch catches the bottom of the zone. It's 0-2, and Earhart has jumped out ahead of Skaggs.
Skaggs, best batting average for this Allegheny team. He's tied for the most games started and played. He leads the team in doubles, tied for home runs as well, and best slugging percentage as well.
0-2 pitch, 1 out. Tapped foul to the left side, so Skaggs stays alive. Ethan Earhart, the junior pitcher for the Yellow Jackets, the de facto number 2 starter, at least acts in that role. Definitely part of that top 3 of Dalton Lucy, Earhart himself, and Gavin Pratt. Another 0-2 offering. Left just high, right above the letters. A 1-2 count to the cleanup hitter for the Gators, Tyler Skaggs. The sophomore facing the junior righty for the Yellow Jackets. Swung on and missed. Got him on a breaking ball that broke inside. And Ethan Earhart has the second out of the inning. Runners stay put at first and second. The designated hitter, William Wolf, looking to get something for Allegheny. William Wolf, the senior infielder, following the strikeout of Tyler Skaggs by Earhart, takes the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike. Buoying out here would really give Earhart some confidence going into the bottom of the first inning. The next pitch swung on, hit to the left side, and that'll find a hole into the outfield. The left fielder Mosley charges, bobbles, and allows the run to score, so Allegheny has an early lead. That was Jennings who came across. Bryant Dawson stops at second base. But it's an RBI single for William Wolf that comes with 2 outs.
It was just a good piece of hitting there for Allegheny. William Wolf able to bring Jennings home. Just finds a soft spot on the left side of the defense of Waynesburg. Both of Allegheny's hits have come to sitting kind of just lacing in the kind of just a dead zone area between the Jacket defense.
No chance for either the third baseman Flambard or the shortstop Gabriel to get there. The Gators do tack on a run. The first pitch to Alejandro Samayoa is a ball. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Gabriel shading towards second base. They do look that way, and Earhart throws it into the outfield. Bryant Dawson will move up to third. The runner Wolf will move up to second base, so a throwing error by the pitch Earhart. 2 runners in scoring position now. A 1-run lead for Allegheny in the top of the first. And a 1-0 count. Alejandro Samayoa swung on and chopped up the middle. Mount will charge, bobble for a second, but throw on to Giraffa to get the out. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error for the Yellow Jackets, and a couple men left on. We head to the bottom of the first here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
The Gators score in the top of the first inning, and the Yellow Jackets look to get things going at the bat rack, something they struggled to do in game number 1. Here's what they'll throw out in the back half of this doubleheader. A very similar looking lineup. Dalton Mount leads off. He's the second baseman. Seth Bergdahl, we saw him behind the plate. The battery made of Earhart. He'll hit second. Aiden Williams is the designated hitter for this contest, followed by Alec Angamore, had one of the 2 hits in game number 1. Giraffa hitting 5th. Then Mosley and Hamrick, 2 of the outfielders, followed by Gabriel and Caden Flambard making his second career collegiate start, first career collegiate start at third base. And they'll be facing Walker Cunningham for the Allegheny Gators.
Yeah, I mean, for Cunningham coming in today, 1-0 on the year. He's only pitched 14 innings, 12 strikeouts to 6 walks with an ERA just under 4, 3.86.
Walker Cunningham, the senior pitcher, has kind of been paired with Schweikert, who we saw in game number 1, is the top 2 pitchers for this Allegheny Gators staff. From Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania, this year a 1-0 record, 14 innings pitched, 15 runs, only 6 of them earned. That's kind of another storyline for this Allegheny defense. They've committed a lot of errors. In fact, we're leading the President's Athletic Conference for quite some time. They're now in second after this past week's slate of games. Cunningham pitched 7 days ago on the dot against Rochester. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 7 runs given up in that game. Only 2 of them became earned. He does have 1 career appearance against the Yellow Jackets. It was last year in the playoff game, a walk and a strikeout in the final inning and 2/3 of Waynesburg's 4-2 loss to Allegheny. He'll face Dalton Mount to lead things off in the bottom half of the first with a 1-0 lead. The first pitch on its way, delivered on the outside corner for a strike. Mount, who was the Yellow Jackets' leadoff hitter for the majority of last season, takes another strike there. Hit .297 last year. 17 stolen bases, so if he gets on, look out. The 2-strike pitch, just outside. 1-2. Dalton Mount facing the righty Walker Cunningham in game number 2. Swung on and missed. A good start for Cunningham. Pitched an inning and 2/3 scoreless against Waynesburg's last season. Has the first out, a strikeout of Dalton Mount.
Exactly, kind of setting the tone. You saw Allegheny offensively set the tone fairly early and quickly in game 1 and in so far here to start game 2. Waynesburg trying to get out to try to replicate that here.
Seth Bergdahl, who was given national recognition, takes the first pitch inside. Division III Baseball Team of the Week on a national scope after his incredible performance in Fort Pierce, Florida. Strike there to even the count up at 1-1. Had an .800 average. Ended up with 3 extra base hits in his final 7 at-bats of that trip. The 1-1. Just low. Bergdahl's able to hold up as well. So 2-1.
Bergdahl leads this team right now, currently otherly in tied with triples, home runs as well, and for runs as well.
Batting over 300. Cuts and misses there to fastball from Cunningham. Stuck in a 2-2 count is Seth Bergdahl. The pitch. Just got a piece of it. Hit off the equipment of the catcher, Skaggs. Another 2-2 offering awaits. The windup and the delivery. Chopped right back to the pitcher, Cunningham. He'll toss on over to first. Gets the put out, and the first baseman Lansness steps on the bag. 2 down, Seth Bergdahl's ground out, and Aiden Williams, talk about another hot hitter for the Yellow Jackets, steps into the box to try to get something going here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, batting .467 coming into today in the 11 games before last. Really found his way, I mean, with the bat, really being consistent and hot, kind of also known as a designated hitter as well.
A senior, so Waynesburg at the catcher position have a lot of experience. Same can't technically be said for a lot of the other positions. Did foul the first pitch off over the Waynesburg dugout, so a 0-1 count. Williams against Cunningham. The next pitch fouled away. 0-2. Last year, Williams hit .264 with 17 runs batted in. This year, he's hitting almost .500 coming into this doubleheader against Allegheny, when 0-2 did reach on a walk in game 1. And he's in a 2-strike hole. Stays alive.
Win the battle, 1-9. Win the battle. Win it, Aiden, win it.
Another 0-2 pitch coming from Walker Cunningham against Aiden Williams. Fouls it off again.
I think another impressive thing you can note about Aiden Williams last year, reached base in 12 consecutive games and had 7 multi-hit games with 5 multiple RBI games in there as well. Kind of seeing that elude here. I mean, with the consistent keeping, he's battling along there with Cunningham, not allowing much to go off.
5th pitch of the plate appearance is low. So Aiden Williams doing battle with Walker Cunningham. Sitting .467 coming into this doubleheader. Hitless in game 1. The pitch. Fouled away again.
Win it, 1-9. Win it.
5 extra base hits on the season for Williams. looking to get on base against Cunningham. The 1-2. Chopped to the right side. The pitcher Cunningham scoops it up, throws on to first, gets the out. Oh, another 1-3 put out, ends a 1-2-3 inning of the Yellow Jackets. We'll head to the top of the second here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. It's 1-0 Allegheny. Good news, fans. The sun is out, and that is just about the best news for everybody who's in attendance, along with the broadcasters, our crew behind the scenes. Ethan, it can't get more perfect for the about 30 seconds of sun we had there during the inning break.
Yeah,
now it's gone, of course.
Yeah, the Game 1 crew, I'm sure a little envious in that regard, hearing the word sun. But nonetheless, with the sun heating up, hopefully that's going to help project Waynesburg into a better position. This was the beginning of the end in Game 1 early on, kind of just digging a hole, and then Allegheny later on in the later parts of the innings really just adding to it. So if Waynesburg's able to maintain and limit the amount of destruction that Allegheny can bring here, especially with, as you mentioned, that high-power offense, that top part of the lineup, that's a really good top part. I mean, Landis, Jennings, Bryson Dawkins, Tyler Skaggs, those four alone do enough damage as it is. They help bring in the one run we saw in that first inning, but Waynesburg's able to limit the amount of damage and then apply some sort of offensive pressure, kind of redefines the whole point of the game.
It's Garrett Leinhard, Nick Banez, and Grant Dowden, the bottom three in Allegheny's order, due up here in the top of the second of a 1-0 game. First pitch from Earhart, a breaking ball that isn't offered at, and low. Leinhard, the freshman infielder, went 1 for 4 in Game 1. Earhart's next offering runs inside. Leinhard has appeared in every game, started every game for Allegheny on this young season. The next pitch swung on, and a hot shot past the glove of Flambard into left field. That's a base hit for Leinhard. He's thinking another base after it hops over Mosley's glove out there in the outfield. And so Garrett Leinhard, we'll see how they roll it, but it's at very least standing on second base in scoring position to lead off the second inning for Allegheny.
That hop, just a little too much. Jordan Mosley, I guess, came in a little too hot, really not expecting a high bounce. That one bounces right over his glove and scrolls past by a few feet out in left field. So, Garrett Leinhard saw an opening. He took it. Good awareness on the base pads.
We'll call it a single and an error on our end as Nick Banez steps into the box now. A bunt laid down to the left side and foul. As Flambard wasn't really charging, so that would have been a successful bunt and a potential bunt single for Banez, the third baseman, who was 0 for 2 in Game 1, walked once.
Yeah, Banez only batting 160 in now the 11 games he's been in. He's 26 at bat on the year. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs for him.
The 0-1 pitch for Earhart, runner in scoring position, is low. Banez elects not to bunt there. It's Garrett Leinhard who led off the inning with a single, and then the error in left field by Mosley consequently. The 1-ball pitch swung on and missed. Earhart's breaking stuff working well for him today. Seeded a strikeout in inning number 1. Another 2-strike count to the 8-hole hitter Nick Banez. On the way, outside. Banez, the junior, think Ethan mentioned batting under 200 on the season, short sample size. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Mosley ranging over, making the catch. And the runner at second, Lionheart, will stay put.
A little bit of a redemption there for Mosley. Good track, not too much work to it, just gets under it, makes the catch, and he forces Lionheart there to stay at second, again limiting that damage.
Another opportunity in scoring position, less than 2 outs for Grant Dowden before the lineup flips back over to what we saw in the first inning. Earhart takes a look and fakes a throw back to second. Wonder if he had second thoughts about his first pitch to Dowden. The runner going. The throw down to third base is in time. Flambard applies the tag. So they cut down the runner, Lionheart, searching for a stolen base. 2 outs, and the base is empty now.
Fantastic work by Seth Bergdahl. We've seen that his arm ability has never been in question. Last year, even carrying over into this year so far. Great work to track it. Even though Earhart was paying attention, Bergdahl picks it up. Waynesburg now has 2 outs.
Good throw down from Seth Bergdahl as a swing and a miss now. 2 strikes to Grant Dowden. So the error by Jordan Mosley is erased. It was a base hit as well from Lionheart. No worse for wear. 1-2. The count. We'll take a look at the replay of that caught stealing Seth Bergdahl to Caden Flambard, who applied a really nice tag. Look at that. Try the swim move to Lionheart. As Earhart's next delivery is up high, it's 2-2.
Think of that. I mean, if Bergdahl doesn't exactly put that near the chest, whenever you see Lionheart sliding into third base, that tag doesn't work, the swim move is successful, and then you have a runner so closer from second to third base.
Instead, there's 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch, grounded to the left side. Noah Gabriel will charge on this one and throw a wide one, pulling Giraffe off the bag. So another base runner for the Allegheny Gators in this inning, Grant Dowden, and the lineup flips back over to some of those hitters that sparked that rally in the first inning, starting with Tommy Lansness.
I mean, yeah, for Lansness so far, he almost reached home. He gone on with a walk, a little bit of an impatient at bat. Got out with Trent Giraffe via the fielder's choice there. However, still very dangerous. Heavy hitter for the Allegheny Gators.
Tommy Lansness, the lefty, who walked to lead off this ball game, fouls the first pitch back. They'll rule that one a single, so that's the 4th hit for Allegheny so far. Waynesburg still with those 2 errors. The next pitch is inside. Ball 1. The 1-1 pitch from Earhart. Bounced low again. Good block from Seth Bergdahl. Who was the designated hitter in game number 1. Earhart's next delivery. Runner going. The throw down. Dowden slides in. He's out. Another caught stealing from Seth Bergdahl. Gabriel applied the tag, and Waynesburg gets out of it. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. It's still 1-0 Allegheny here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Seth Bergdahl, a couple of caught stealings in that inning. A nice tag applied by Noah Gabriel. We'll slow it down for you. Wow. Got him on the right arm. So Waynesburg gets out of the inning on a pair of caught stealings from the new backstop, Seth Bergdahl, Ethan. Fantastic start for him in this game.
I mean, you really can't put that placement or timing any better. Again, once again, right on the inside near that chest area with with everyone sliding. It starts with Leinhart, then it reaches over to Landsness. I mean, great work by Seth Bergdahl to, again, really help out that Waynesburg defense that had a little bit of a sloppy start to the second inning, but they were able to regain themselves and recalculate, and now you're hoping to see some offensive success to follow, leading off with Alec Engelmore, a senior leader for this team.
This is an Allegheny team that really likes to run. They had the stolen bases leader in the PAC last year, and Tyson Bryant Dawson, who is in the starting lineup today for the Gators. A really good job from Seth Bergdahl, as Waynesburg will have Alec Engelmore, Trent Giraffe, and Jordan Mosley due up. We're in the bottom half of the second inning, down still 1-0 to Allegheny. Looking to pick up a PAC win, the Yellow Jackets, who only had 5 losses in conference play a season ago.
Yeah, second place finish last year in conference is definitely exactly where you want to see this team to project. Had a lot of depth and excitement to follow that team.
The departures of Lane Hours and Todd Berner certainly hurt, as Engelmore pounds one to the left side there. Throw over to first from the shortstop. A great plays out. What a play from Garrett Lionhard. The defense showing off so far.
Alec Engelmore had a few words to say after that one. I mean, he himself felt he was safe. This throw was definitely a little low, had a few bounces to it. That really led to the longevity of the throw and the awaiting.
Giraffe will step in next for the Yellow Jackets after Alec Engelmore concedes the 6-3 ground out. Walker Cunningham still in a second inning of work. First pitch low. So Bergdahl for the Yellow Jackets, Lionhard for the Gators. As Lionhard gets another opportunity on a ground ball from Giraffe, makes the play. A lot easier one that time for him.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. That one laced through the air, had enough height on it. Didn't allow the ground to slow down the ball.
There is this artificial infield turf, which certainly makes for some more interesting hops, some more interesting plays.
It is an aggressive stop, too, to the turf. It's not even like it's a lead-in. It's straight. The infield is done, and then it's right to normal grass in the outfield. So it goes all the way up. I mean, till a good fair, probably 10 feet past second base, then it hits hard grass.
Mosley takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. And the second pitch as well. Mosley, who's part of this left field rotation, I guess you can call it. He's played the majority of the games there this season, coming out of the Florida trip. The 0-2 pitch just outside. We've seen Mosley out there. We've seen Connor Hamrick in both left and center field. Hunter Hamilton, the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. The catcher will throw down Skaggs to Landsness, and that's a quick bottom of the second inning for Allegheny. We'll head to the top of the third. Waynesburg looking to get something going on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm Mia Hinkins, and welcome to Buell Hall, home of Waynesburg University's Department of Communication. If you visit our campus, you'll have the opportunity to attend some comm classes, enjoy lunch with our students, and watch us in action. We hope to see you here soon at Waynesburg University.
To schedule your personal visit, go to waynesburg.edu/admissions/schedule-visit. Come grow with us at Waynesburg University.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
Ethan Earhart steps on the mound to face Tommy Lansness, who lines the first pitch into right field for a base hit. Alec Englemore will scoop it up, toss it back in. Lansness, who was at the plate when Grant Dowden was cut down to end the second inning, steps up. First pitch he faces, lines for a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, have no hesitation to it. Finds the pitch he likes, takes it right up again. Both, I mean, for all the hits that have come from Allegheny, finding kind of just in the shallow fields of left and right field.
Now Matt Jennings swings at the first pitch as he faces, pops it up in the infield grass. It's in fair territory. Flambard makes the catch. 1 out.
Key thing to note there, I mean, Seth Bergdahl calls it. He says, Flambard, it's yours. So key communication coming from the graduate student catcher, letting Flambard know this one's yours. No miscommunication there.
Absolutely key. The catcher, who's almost the captain of the defense, at least in the infield, leads to Tyler Skaggs, the catcher, who struck out the first time, or rather Tyson Bryant Dawson, I'm getting ahead of myself, who grounded into a fielder's choice, a 5-2 fielder's choice back in the first. Got all the way around to third, stranded there. Took a ball and then pops the next pitch up into foul territory. Tailing towards the fence, Flambard giving chase, it's out of play. A 1-1 count to Tyson Bryant Dawson. I mentioned the PAC stolen bases champion last year, 31 of them. Also had 3 home runs. Now he brings the power, the speed, everything in one. 359 hitter in his career.
Some other key stats, he's top 10 in multiple PAC categories this year. He's top 10 in batting average coming into today, 2nd in slugging percentage. He's 9th in on-base percentage. He's 4th in on-base plus slugging percentage. I mean, the list continues to go on and on with his ability. Home runs, he's tied for first there.
Tapper down the left side is foul, but barely. Flambard was smart to let it roll. You heard the Waynesburg coaching staff say, let it go, let it go, let it go. And it was a foul ball. In a 1-2 count now against Tyson Bryant Dawson. Last year, in a full season worth of work, hit .347, which was somehow only 17th best in the PAC. You can't imagine 17 people hitting better than .350, almost. As Earhart gets set for the 1-2. Here's the pitch, just inside. Evens the count up at 2-2. Lansness is on first. He's reached twice today. The 2-2. Fly ball to center field. Out straight away. Hamrick will take a few steps in, make the catch. There's 2 outs now, runner on first, and now Tyler Skaggs coming to the plate. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, a 1-0 lead for Allegheny.
Yeah, Skaggs is going to look a little bit of redemption. The only strikeout Earhart has had on the day so far through 2 innings of work has come via Tyler Skaggs, arguably Allegheny's best hitter.
And what a big out that was in the first. Came with 2 runners on. Was the second out before the RBI single by William Wolf. First pitch was a breaking ball for a strike. Second pitch left high and inside. Lansness gets his lead off first. Skaggs at the plate. Lansness looked like he was going to go as Earhart delivers low.
A little shot.
Hesitated, stayed put, a little shuffle shimmy. What do you call that?
I call that the 2-foot shuffle, and then you call instant regret after because Seth Bergdahl 2 for 2 catching Steelers today.
I call that a pulled hamstring if it were me. Chopper to the left side, stays foul.
Don't worry, I wouldn't even make my way on the field. There's no judgment on this side. I'm what they call a left bench warmer.
I'm what they call staying on this side of things, wearing a headset during the games underneath a pavilion. It's a 2-2 count on Tyler Skaggs. Runner on first is Lansness. And the pitch. Line shot. Flambard has a little bit of trouble with it, but scoops it up. Throws on to first. A good stretch from Giraffa. And the third out.
That had some heat on it. No regret there. Throwing all the way from Flambard, but also a great stretch like you just said. I mean, from Trent Giraffa's done a good job. Had a few times where he's had a stretch so far in this game. Great defense so far there by Waynesburg in the last 2 innings.
Allegheny a scoreless top of the third inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on, no errors. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. It's still 1-0, the Gators lead. Back on the Waynesburg University Sports Network, the Yellow Jackets looking to get some runs going. They've been scoreless in the 9+ innings of today's doubleheader. The first game was only 7 innings worth. 15-0 final in favor of the Gators. Hamrick, Gabriel, and Flambard do up the bottom third of the Yellow Jackets order against the righty Walker Cunningham, who's been good to this point. Dare I say perfect. He's retired the first 6 batters in order.
Well, right now, as of today, yeah, perfect is the correct adjective. I mean, you've had 6 up, 6 down, 1 strikeout, 5 ground outs to follow suit. So also gives compliments to the defense by Waynesburg. And I mean, he's done it under 30 pitches, only 23 total pitches so far.
Wow.
Coming into today, pitching, Allegheny ranks in the bottom half of the PAC 7th. Average ERA of 7.13. Waynesburg, though, worse, dead last in the PAC in 11th place with an outright 9.6 ERA. And the bats for Allegheny batting over 300. That's showing off so far in the first innings, batting 312. Waynesburg in that bottom half of 7th, batting 281 as a team.
Yeah, Waynesburg statistics have certainly not favored them so far in the early season. You mentioned Allegheny hitting 312. The Yellow Jackets at 275 and a 730 OPS. Like to get those numbers up heading into conference play. First pitch to Hamrick, delivered for a strike.
Key game for Waynesburg. They'll play Allegheny now. Then you have another PAC contest against Franciscan. Take a little bit of break against LaRoche.
Hamrick trundles one on over to the second baseman. He'll throw on to first, get the out. So quick work made of Connor Hamrick. Cunningham stays efficient. There's 1 out. Leading into Noah Gabriel, who started game 1 as Waynesburg shortstop, has been there for the majority of the season, at least of late, with the injury to Garrett Comer working his way back.
Noah Gabriel appeared in 11 games now, 10 coming in today's doubleheader, batting 167 for him. 6 RBIs, no home runs on the year just yet.
Result of the first pitch, a strike. The 0-1 fouled off to the right side. 0-2. Gabriel, the Marietta College transfer, who is a junior, has a pair of extra base hits, 2 doubles on the season. Swung on and missed. Way late on a fastball from Walker Cunningham. Quick work made of yet another hitter. There's now 2 down, with Caden Flambard looking to fare a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit of a late swing, late tip right into the glove of Skaggs, but Fortunately for Gabriel, just a late response on the heat thrown from Cunningham.
Gabriel's not the first player on Waynesburg in their lineup to produce a swing like that. Cunningham has a high and rising fastball that picks up speed late. And Flambard, the 9-hole hitter for the Yellow Jackets, takes a first pitch strike. Swung on and missed. Another good fastball from Walker Cunningham. Well, he jumps out ahead 0-2, looking to make quick work of the Yellow Jackets and retire his 9th consecutive batter. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Wow! Okay, Mr. Cunningham. You've set down 9 in a row on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Allegheny leads the Yellow Jackets 1-0. Back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network, it's the top of the 4th inning. Allegheny leading the Yellow Jackets 1-0. Yellow Jackets hitless so far. Allegheny, on the other hand, has collected 5, with Wolf, Samioa, and Lionheart due up this inning against Ethan Earhart, who's looked good so far. Certainly hasn't been the issue for the Yellow Jackets.
Overall, no. I mean, besides a little bit of a few sloppy mistakes in the first half of that first inning, you've seen 2 straight innings of, knock on wood, clean baseball from the Waynesburg defense. It all starts behind the plate with Seth Bergdahl picking off 2 Allegheny Gators when attempting to steal.
Certainly has. First pitch, a ground ball. Flambard picks it up, throws on to first. So William Wolf retired. 1 pitch, 1 out. Ethan Earhart doing his best Walker Cunningham impression right there.
I mean, you saw it earlier with Flambard. One of his first throws over towards Giraffe, a little low and not really exactly on it, a little off. Had a few skips on the ground. So for him, his last few throws over have been really on the money. Giraffe not having to do too much work or leading off the base pad. Great work there by Flambard.
Alejandro Samioa steps in, grounded out in the first. Swing and a miss there after a first pitch ball, so it's 1-1. Samioa, part of the middle of the order for these Allegheny Gators. Another ground ball to the left side. It's Gabriel charging this time on the run. Makes a good throw over to Giraffe for out number 2.
All 5'6", Noah Gabriel. Good head of steam, good awareness, low to the ground. Gets it right over again. You're seeing that left side of the infield. Great work towards Giraffe, not making him have to do too much work.
And Flambard and Gabriel have certainly been busy so far. A lot of right-handed hitters for the Gators. Garrett Lionheart, another one. Steps in, takes a first pitch breaking ball right below the knees for ball 1. Lionheart singled. The error by Jordan Mosley. And he got all the way around to second as he was caught stealing 1 of 2 in that inning by Seth Bergdahl, the second inning. Stands in ahead 2-0 to Ethan Earhart. Pops the pitch up in the air to the left side again. Gabriel will call him out off, make the catch. So a 1-2-3 quick top half of the 4th inning. Ethan Earhart working well. A 1-0 lead for Allegheny. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. the top of this Waynesburg University order will try to get something going against the righty Walker Cunningham, who's been so good so far. Anthony DeFilippo, Ethan Spazarski with you on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. The back half, a much better looking half as far as the weather is concerned, and as far as the score is concerned, it's just a 1-0 score. Allegheny leads. Waynesburg would certainly like to get something going on the offensive side of the ball. I mentioned it'll be Mount, Bergdahl, and Williams to lead off this inning. Mount, who struck out swinging to lead off the game, and Bergdahl and Williams, who both recorded 1 to 3 ground outs. Taps back to the pitcher Cunningham. As Waynesburg has struggled so far offensively, not only in this game, but over the length of the season. 31 extra base hits this year in comparison to Allegheny's 41. Just a .361 slugging percentage, which is below average. And Dalton Mount, who leads the team in doubles, steps to the plate. First pitch from Cunningham, off the end of the bat, in a fouled way. 5 doubles for Mount so far on the year, ending .292 at .297 last year. Talk about consistency. And 1 pitch, heater in there for a strike. Next pitch outside. Brings the count to 1-2. Dalton Mount, Waynesburg's leadoff hitter, trying to break this batter's retired streak from Cunningham. Swung on and missed, chased a breaking ball in the left-handed batter's box. So 1 out. Cunningham has his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. And now it turns to Seth Bergdahl in a quick-moving ball game. This game started at 3 o'clock. It's 3:50, and we're in the 4th. Just getting word from our resident weatherman, Ethan Spazarski, who's also on the call with me, that rain is on the way, people, and the skies certainly look at it like it. If you look behind us in right field and beyond, the skies are grayer and grayer as they come. Bergdahl in a 1-0 count. Lines 1 to the left, a base hit. So 10 batters retired in a row for Walker Cunningham, and Seth Bergdahl breaks the streak. He had a hit in game 1. Gets a base hit here in game 2 in the 4th.
Aggressive towards it earlier in the count, not afraid. Bergdahl finds it in a little shallow spot on the left side of the field. Does a great job to work on base. He's done his job so far today. Now looking for another man like Aiden Williams to contribute to that, who has had a very good job this year hitting-wise.
Yeah, almost a .500 hitter, Aiden Williams. 0 for 1 in this game. It's hitless in game number 1 as well. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. 6 RBI on the season for Williams. Another breaking ball that bends into the zone for strike 2.
Being the resident weatherman that I am, luckily the rain cell that looks like it's coming through is much more smaller than what we had earlier. I hope the radar stays true to its word there as the clouds continue to creep on. Kind of definitely seeing a little bit of difference in sunshine.
0-2 pitch, bounce back to the pitcher. He'll go on to second for 1, on to first, a double play. The double play goes Cunningham to line hard to Lansness. And that erases the base runner for the Yellow Jackets and ends the inning. We'll head to the top of the 5th, a 1-0 score on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Ha! Gotcha!
Fading up to Tyler and Mia in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mia Hinkins.
And I'm Tyler Aaron, and welcome
to Jacket Sports Weekly.
A 70% chance that it's 100% started to rain here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. But that's all right. We begin the top of the 5th inning. The Yellow Jackets trailing the Allegheny Gators 1-0 in the President's Athletic Conference home opener and opener period. As Ethan Earhart begins his 5th inning of work facing the bottom 2 hitters in the order, Banez and Dowden, before the lineup flips back over to Lansness. The first pitch popped high in the air. Another infield pop for the Gators. Flambard will camp under this one and make the catch. Banez retired on 1 pitch in what has been a quick-moving ball game. These two teams who played a 15-0 game in the first half of this doubleheader. It's just a 1-0 game in the 5th. With Dowden stepping in, he's 1 for 1. The single was one of those victims that Bergdahl was able to catch stealing. Dowden momentarily squared a bunt but pulled it back before the pitch was delivered, a breaking ball for a strike. Earhart's next pitch. Heater in there for a strike. 0-2. Grant Dowden, the 9-hole hitter for the Gators. Earhart's delivery. Hot shot ground ball to Gabriel, who throws it in the turf, and it gets past Giraffa. That'll be an infield error for Gabriel. Dowden will reach, and the lineup will flip back over to Lansness.
Exactly what I was alluding to earlier. I mean, with Noah Gabriel, and you saw there with, Flambard, their ability to get it over to Trent Giraffa in the last few innings, very effective, very quick. However, that one low and away on the right side of the bag. Giraffa not able to reach out and grab it in time.
Tommy Lansness, who's 1 for 1 officially today. He's reached twice. Walked in the first, singled in the third. Up again with the runner Dowden on first, a similar situation we saw back in the second when Dowden was caught stealing. We'll see if he thinks about it again now. And a 1-0 pitch, bounced in the dirt. Bergdahl quick to get on his feet. But Earhart falls behind Lansness 2-0. Allegheny, who scored 12 runs and 8 runs in a loss last week against Rochester. Lansness puts a ground ball to the right side. Mount applies the tag on to first. What a play! Results in 2 outs for the Yellow Jackets. A quick top half of the 5th inning. 3 batters come to the plate. You have the error by Gabriel, but no runs come across. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. It's 1-0. The Gators lead.
To the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the Print Collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
Welcome back to the Eastview Athletic Complex, just about a mile off of Waynesburg University's campus. As you'll hear it now, the rain has instantly picked up what should be a smaller storm cell from what we've seen so far today. Game 1 was met with heavy rain and winds pretty much almost the entire game. However, that one finished with a 15-0 win for Allegheny. Allegheny looking for the sweep against Waynesburg. Last year, Allegheny was the ones who were swept in the regular season. However, Allegheny got retribution back in the PAC playoffs helping knock out Waynesburg from PAC playoff competition. But focusing back to here and now, it's a 1-0 game. Allegheny leads. They scored their first run of the game back in the first inning. That run being Matt Jennings, brought in off of William Wolf's RBI single. For Waynesburg, they just got their first hit of the game in the following inning by Seth Bergdahl. However, unfortunately, it was ended by an Aiden Williams double play. He was hit in there by the infield. As now, this I should update you now. It has become from rain to looks like hail. Quite literally, small balls of ice are currently providing down onto the players. You're seeing Allegheny's players kind of reacting to it, holding out their hands, kind of playing catch with the ice.
Yeah, it's kind of a hail-like substance here. I was kind of confused because it's about 50 degrees, and though I'm sure you already mentioned it, but the conversation is being had between the coaching staff, the athletic trainer, and the home plate umpires. Looks like they are ready to resume things.
It quite literally is now just changed back to rain. It was funnier. The Allegheny players kind of dancing around, jumping up and down, trying to be a little bit warm as the weather continues to just be what it has been here in western Pennsylvania, all over the place. As Cunningham will start off our first pitch. This one soars in for a strike. 0-1 count to start off on our batter of Alec Englemore. Englemore 0 for 1 so far today. 6-3 ground out in his first at bat. This second one floats its way in outside the zone. Counts now at 1-1.
Englemore, who leads the team in RBI, has been a real hitting machine as Waynesburg's primary cleanup hitter so far this season.
Englemore waits the next pitch from Cunningham. Comes in low and away. Ball 2. Counts at 2-1. You said it, Alec Englemore coming into today. Perfect 16 of 16 in games played in starts. Batting .260, but leads the team 17 RBIs. Next pitch comes in. Finds its way to the zone. Counts even now at 2 apiece. Said Waynesburg swept Allegheny last year. 5-2 in game 1. 12-5 in game 2. Different story so far here today as Englemore pops this one up well. Foul, float passes on top of the pavilion. Kinski didn't hear the loud bang. Rolls on towards the seats. With that foul ball, the count stays even.
It was funny because I went up to look like I was going to catch it, and then it literally probably did land where I would have been able to catch it, like right on top of the roof. That was pretty funny. Saw the reaction from a lot of people here in the pavilion.
Cunningham sets for the windup in the pitch. High and away. Counts now full at 3-2. Englemore leadoff batter here to start the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-2 count, no one on, no outs. Englemore looking for Waynesburg's second hit of the day. Cunningham will give it to him, and Englemore fouls one off again, keeps the battle alive, and count will stay at 3-2.
That's one thing that these Waynesburg batters had to start doing a little bit more. We saw Williams do it a couple innings ago. Englemore now battling against Cunningham, seeing his pitches. You'll get a lot more better placed fastballs, at least for the hitting perspective, later in counts.
Cunningham's next pitch, once again, fouled off. Past the road behind the Eastview Athletic Complex. Englemore will reset himself again. The dance continues between Cunningham and Englemore. Cunningham gets his pitch. He winds and deals. Swing and a miss. Clean strikeout there. Cunningham will win that dance as he collects his 4th strikeout of the afternoon.
Yeah, Cunningham has just been amazing so far. He has 6 strikeouts on the day. We saw a little cup of coffee from him last year against the Yellow Jackets, an inning and 2/3 to finish off that playoff game like we mentioned earlier. But he's been fantastic in this opener.
Cunningham now deals with Trent Giraffa as Giraffa will take strike 1, counts at 0-1. Giraffa so far today grounded out to this another 6-3 ground out, one of the various ground outs that Waynesburg has hit into today. As Cunningham's next pitch is low and away, counts even at 1 apiece. Allegheny so far, 1 hit on 5 runs, no errors. Waynesburg, however, no runs, 1 hit on 2 errors. Giraffa looks to change that fortune now with Cunningham's next pitch coming in. Down low in the zone, he'll get enough of it though, as it's now 1-2.
It's another thing that Cunningham has done so well so far. He hasn't really pitched many directly over the plate. He's really picked his spots nicely.
Cunningham wheels and deals here once again. Giraffa sends a towering shot out to center field. However, that is what it is, just towering. as it is caught out there. Center fielder Dowden collects it.
Ethan, you ready for this? That's the first fly ball hit in fair territory by the Yellow Jackets so far. They've hit a couple line drive. They've had the one line drive base hit, a lot of ground outs, but the first fly ball hit by Trent Giraffa results in an out.
So we do have a substitution here.
Lucas Liebarger will come on and hit the transfer from Slippery Rock University, spent last season, so he's a sophomore here in his first season at Waynesburg. Coming in for Mosley, so we'll get a look at a different left fielder here, the lefty hitter, in game number 2.
Lucas Liebarger now stands in to face the ensuing Cunningham, who has done a fantastic job of maintaining Waynesburg's offenses. Liebarger wastes no time. He'll dribble this one right up to Samoya, who throws it right over to Landsness for the instant 4-3 ground out. And that will round out the inning as a whole as well. So Waynesburg, no runs on no hits, no errors, and none left on for the fourth of 5 innings. Fourth time in 5 innings as we'll step aside once again. But on the other side of this break, we'll see Allegheny's offense come back on the field. Right now, Allegheny leads Waynesburg 1-0 here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Welcome back into the Waynesburg University Sports Network. As you see on your screen, Ethan Earhart getting ready to start his 6th inning of work here today. He's only allowed the 1 run on the 5 hits. The Waynesburg defense has done a fantastic job since the first inning of maintaining the heavy hitting Allegheny damage that they can provide, especially in the top 4 batters of their lineup. However, of those 4, they're going to see the 2, 3, and 4 hitter of Matt Jennings, Tyson Bryant Dawson, and Tyler Skaggs.
Yeah, Earhart mentioned earlier, this pitching performance, regardless of how it ends, is going to feel good for him. He came into today with a 9.45 ERA, but that was kind of ballooned by facing 2 tough lineups his last 2 times out in Elizabethtown and Muskingum. But coming back out against Allegheny, pitching strong for the Yellow Jackets, keeping them in the ballgame.
So now, again, stepping into the box, Matt Jennings. He was the 1 run scored earlier in the first inning. In his first inning, he took a walk, as he won't do the same here as Noah Gabriel meets this one line drive. However, he'll hold on to it. So it will be another hit for Matt Jennings.
And that's just unfortunate for Noah Gabriel, who's had a couple of those plays today where he's kind of gotten a one in the hole, in that 5-6 hole there over there on the left side. He's just kind of had to stop it. This really tough play for a shortstop to make, and Gabriel, who's saved a couple of base hits into the outfield, unfortunately, that doesn't go down on the stat sheet.
Gabriel tames the fire of the line drive, or isn't able to get over in time, so that would be Jennings' 2nd single of the day. He's now 2 for 3 at the day. He's now coming up. It's Tyson Bryant Dawkins as he fouls the first one off right back to Seth Bergdahl for an 0-1 count to start.
Start to see some movement in the Waynesburg bullpen, but kind of the angle that we have here, we can't really see exactly who it is. It looks like Alex Nicholson is one of the pitchers warming up for the Yellow Jackets, but we'll wait that call.
Earhart looking to get through 6 innings of work today, which would be a very good start for him. This one's low and away, gets away from Bergdahl, and Jennings will take that free base. So a pitch that gets away from Bergdahl, kind of takes ownership of it, pats on his chest pad to Earhart. Now Earhart will be faced with a runner in scoring position with no outs yet. Jennings was the first run, I said before. He does have a stolen base on the day as well. Back in the first inning. Earhart checks back, looks forward, back, and there it is. Bryant Dawson lays down the bunt, rolls down the right field line. Quick throw over by Earhart, will not be in time. So a successful bunt, from Tyson Bryant Dawkins. As now it also helps move up the runner of Matt Jennings over to third base.
And this is kind of a precarious position for the Yellow Jackets as Skaggs is set to come up because Bryant Dawson last season, we mentioned the 31 solo bases, which led the PAC. He can certainly take off, and the Gators have done this a couple times so far where that runner from third breaks when the throw goes to second. So we'll see how Bergdahl plays this one if Bryant Dawson does take off.
Tyler Skaggs up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today in this game as Earhart wastes no time. He's going to try to keep Bryant Dawson in check. A 4-step lead for Bryant Dawson. Extends to 5. He starts to inch his way over. Is this bunt laid down? The throw's going to go home from Earhart to Bergdahl. They will get it in time with ease. So Matt Jennings will be caught at home. However, it does advance the runners a total of 1 base. So Skaggs will reach on the fielder's choice from Earhart to Bergdahl and extend Bryant Dawson to second. But now you get through, as we talked about, that heavy-hitting first 4 for Allegheny as you start to move down the list. William Wolf, though, does have the RBI from earlier in the first inning. He's at the plate now as Earhart's first pitch to him's low and away in front of the plate. No runners will advance.
Yeah, Bergdahl's made a couple good blocks, and what can't go unnoticed is we see the replay here on the bunt attempt. Bergdahl applies a really nice tag. He's done so well behind the plate with the blocks, the caught stealings, and of course that tag right there is Earhart's athleticism off the mound allowed him to charge and get the throw to home.
Earhart's next pitch down just clips enough of the bottom of the zone. Count is now going to go to 1-2.
Yeah.
Earhart gets the pitch that he likes. Full set, check off. Following pitch. This one laced out. Going to look to the gap and over the wall. It clears it. A 3-run home run. William Wolf. He has 1 RBI. Give him 3 more with that one. Allegheny now takes the 4-0 lead off the William Wolf left field home run.
Yeah, Wolf has really punished the Yellow Jackets so far today, especially here in game number 2. Like you mentioned, he has all 4 RBI for the Gators. The senior infielder was only hitting .222 coming into today with 6 RBI. Give him 4. He's up to double digits now in the season.
So Tyler Skaggs, Tyson Bryant Dawson were on the base for William Wolf off the home run, as now the 0-1 count begins for Alejandro Simonweo. Earhart deals again. Be a swing and a miss. Count goes down to 0-2.
Yeah, that's one thing that was really looking out for is Earhart the last couple of seasons been really susceptible to the fly ball, specifically the long ball. Allowed 3, make it 4 now on the year.
This one's going to be laced down the left field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Allegheny picks up another base runner on the base pads for Alejandro Simonweo. Get the slam down the Gator chomp. So now Earhart's faced with yet another base runner.
Yeah, Nicholson is really starting to warm up now for the Yellow Jackets. We won't necessarily see him here as the pitching coach, Luke Kiger, comes out to have a conversation with Earhart. Just try to calm him down. And this is a Gators offense that it really took a while, but they finally got going here in the 6th and really started to figure out Ethan Earhart's stuff. And I'll stick to what I said right before the inning started. However this outing ends for Ethan, regardless of whether it ends in 4 runs or more, it was still a successful outing from Earhart, who has struggled through most of his previous appearances on the mound. So the fact that he went 5 innings, 1 run against a really good Allegheny offense that was rated highly in the President's Athletic Conference preseason poll, that's a win in my books.
Ethan Earhart, in his freshman campaign, he tied the team in the lead with strikeouts, had 39. He also led the team in wins for pitchers, had 4 wins on the season there. Then last year had 11 appearances, ranked 2nd on the roster with almost 54 innings pitches. This first pitch to Leinhart goes down low for ball 1. Leinhart is 1 for 2 on the day. Leinhart had the single that turned into a essential double off the error from the Waynesburg defense and Jordan Mosley out in left field. Leinhardt's next pitch taken in will clip the zone. 1-1 is the count. Earhart went 3-3 last year with a 5.37 ERA. Was able to strike out 5+ batters 4 times last year as well. So you know Earhart's ability to be an effective pitcher for the Yellow Jackets as he'll turn around and keep Allegheny in check on the base pads. Earhart's count remains 1-1 on Leinhardt, who is at the plate. 1 out. Waynesburg looking to avoid a sweep to start out PAC play this year as Leinhardt sends this one high out deep center field. Out there is Hamrick to make the catch. He'll throw in, however, tagging up and advancing to third base is Alejandro Semayoa. He'll reach third successfully. So with 2 outs now, Leinhardt helps advance the runner. And now Allegheny has a chance with 2 outs to make it a 5-0 lead over Waynesburg. Nick Banez, the one to the plate. Banez so far has flown out twice, so he's 0 for 2. Earhart's pitch sent home, low and away, ball 1. Unlike Waynesburg, Allegheny's had a lot of besides the base hits, have scorched a lot of flyouts so far today. 6 total flyouts. So Allegheny putting the ball in the air effectively as this next one sent. Check swing, a little check from the infield umpire. He'll call it a swing. So the count will go at 1-1.
Yeah, on top of a nearly 10 ERA, which certainly got raised in game number 1, Waynesburg has also given up 67 extra base hits so far. That's a number that it just can't quite hold heading into the later part of this season.
Earhart's next pitch sent home. Gets the bottom of the zone. It'll be 1-2 count. Now Earhart's just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Off the 3-run home run from William Wolf. William Wolf holds all the 4 RBIs for the Gators here in game 2. As Banez gets set for the deal from Earhart. Earhart's pitch high and away. Counts now even at 2 apiece with 2 outs. Nick Banez, a junior infielder, 5'11", from Edmonds, Washington. Sends this one clean up the gap in right center field. It'll cut between Englemore and Hamrick. Hamrick will be the one to collect it. Banez turning around at second base. A little bit of aggressive turn, close play. However, he does get back in time, so Banez will collect an RBI for himself. As an RBI double, as it brings home Alejandro Semioya.
Yeah, paying attention to the bullpen and Waynesburg's coaching staff as Bergdahl will come out to have a chat with Earhart, but the rest of the dugout staying pretty quiet, all things considered. So Bergdahl going out to have a chat with his pitchers. Dowding comes up, then it'll flip back up to the top of the lineup. Already here, 5 runs conceded for Earhart, 4 in this inning.
Grant Dowden coming up to the plate, 0 for 2 himself, or it's 1 for 2 himself. He reached on an error the last time he appeared. However, had gone out on a 4-3 double play. Dalton Mount applied the tag to him last time he was on the base pads. Dowden, the starting center fielder today for the Gators, stands in and waits the first pitch. Low and away for ball 1. Dowden, a junior outfield, 6 foot. Right-hander from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, attended Ligonier Valley High School. Awaits the Hempfield, the alumni of Hempfield Area High School, Ethan Earhart. This pitch soars in just inside, so the count goes to 2-0. Waynesburg defense playing in its normal positions. So wait for the next pitch from Earhart. Comes in. This one clips off the mask of Seth Bergdolt. So we're going to miss. So it's 2-1 count. Bergdolt got right back up perfectly fine. Allegheny leads Waynesburg 5-0 here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Grant Dowden standing at the plate for Allegheny. Ethan Earhart with the 2-1 count sends his next pitch home. This one laced right over there in the infield. Noah Gabriel with quick bounce gets it to Giraffa, and that ends the inning with a 6-3 ground out. However, before the inning's over, the damage is done. 4 runs scored there. See 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Allegheny leads 5-0 as we step aside on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
You're listening to WCYJ FM 99.5 The Hive, your home for everything Waynesburg.
Our campus radio station gives students like you a chance to work in live studio environment without ever leaving Waynesburg. WCYJ FM has specialty shows, sports recaps, and updates, weather, and live coverage of your Yellow Jackets. Tune in at 99.5 The Hive or online at waynesburg.edu/listen.
Welcome back into the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Ethan Spazarski, Anthony DeFilippo here for you with Game 2 of our doubleheader for Waynesburg baseball. Starting off its PAC competition today, Waynesburg dropped Game 1 15-0, ended in 7 innings due to the run rule that went into effect. Waynesburg now finds himself in a 5-run hole with 5-0 here as we're entering the bottom of the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, you just want to get something going if you're the Yellow Jackets. Just 1 hit so far. They only had 2 hits in game number 1. It was just a pair of base hits for the Yellow Jackets, just 1 in this game, like I mentioned. You just want to get something going in the final 4 innings of play. Avoid the run rule again if you're Waynesburg. And if you're Allegheny, keep on keeping on. Walker Cunningham has been fantastic on the mound so far.
Exactly. Complimentary baseball. The defense has been outstanding, only really allowing 2 hits there. And then offensively, I mean, William Wolf, he's been MVP of Game 2, 4 of the 5 RBIs, including a 3-run home run to left field. That one cleared all the way into the woods. I don't think this thing still landed. It was landing, shooting towards the train tracks out in left field. However, we continue to play baseball. As we said before, Walker Cunningham coming into today with a 14 innings pitched ERA just under 4 has been nearly spectacular. That will definitely drop after today's performance. Is now coming up to bat for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets will be number 3, Connor Hamrick, who's playing in center field. He's 0 for 1 today, had a 4-3 ground out back in the 3rd inning. So his first pitch from Cunningham is taken there for strike. 0-1 count. Waynesburg only 1 hit today compared to Allegheny's 10. Is the next pitch taken in for Hamrick. He laces this up left field line. That will be ruled foul. Close play by the diving third baseman of Banez. However, it is foul, luckily for Allegheny. So the hit counter stays at 1 for Waynesburg, but the count will advance to 0-2.
Waynesburg's head coach, Mike Pelletieri, really wanted a fair ball there. He was putting his arm fair. Maybe he knew it was just a tad bit foul, but of course wants another base hit for one of his players.
So the count at 0-2. This one goes low in the dirt. Well, low in the turf, I should say, and the count goes up to 1-2. You don't get dirt till you get outside the infield. So we were talking about earlier, the artificial turf. All the way from the infield, even past the backstop, as this one's well past everyone catching, including Skaggs. So we'll hit the backstop, because now the count's at 2 apiece. Cunningham getting ready to send his 5th pitch to Hamrick, and here it is. Swing and a miss. Strikeout there. Cunningham once again gets a strikeout. That is his 5th on the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the breaking stuff. Then you have to worry about the high and rising fastball that, like I said, catches up speed right towards the end. And it's just everything today is clicking for Walker Cunningham. He's locating just about as perfectly as he can and getting swings and misses to go for it along the way.
Noah Gabriel steps up to the plate as he attempts a bunt. This one shoots up. Foul. Just nearly touches the left field line.
Why not? Gabriel's got a ton of speed. Why not try to lay out a base hit if you can? Gabriel himself, who's had a slower start as far as batting goes on the season. We mentioned how good he is defensively, but just looking to get on base any way he can.
Gabriel only 5'6", smallest player on this Waynesburg team. Has that ability, though, to stay low to the ground, and it does help him in his favor when it is fielding balls or laying down bunts, as his 0-1 count is about to gain another pitch. Gabriel will take one outside for a ball. It counts even at 1 apiece now.
Yeah, got to give him a lot of credit as a fellow 5'6" gentleman. I'm probably about at 5'5.5". So Gabriel's done a fantastic job so far in Waynesburg.
Cunningham's next pitch is fouled off by Gabriel, goes well foul. Another thing to note, rain has officially ceased. It is now just a cooler day here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, something you like to see weather-wise.
Good call, Ethan. Small cell. You got it.
Small cell, yeah. I mean, weatherman.
Should be a meteorologist.
Officially applying now after today's game as Cunningham's next pitch comes in. This one smacked well into left field, but in foul territory will be Bryant Dawson to make the catch to get the second out. So another fly out for Waynesburg. However, keyword fly out, not exactly what Waynesburg needs, as they're down to their final out on the bottom of the 6th inning to do some work, and it is Caden Flambard who will be the one stepping up to the plate. He struck out his last time up. Cunningham's done a good job with those 5 strikeouts for himself on the day. Cunningham wheels and deals. Attempted bunt, no good by Flambard. Kind of pulled away at the last second, however, finds its way in the zone. Counts at 0-1. Cunningham's next pitch comes in. Low and away, ball 1. Count even at 1 apiece. Allegheny College, located in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Allegheny College having a bit of a drive down here to Waynesburg. Go away with a sweep will definitely make the bus ride home, even while long, a lot more fun. Cunningham leading the charges. This one's fouled away low on the turf, 1-2.
Yeah, Flambard, who, like I said, making his second start at the collegiate level. 1 for 6 so far with 2 runs batted in.
Cunningham sends the next pitch home, swing and a miss, and there it is, the 6th strikeout, halfway to a dozen, and the 3rd out there. So once again, Waynesburg leaves an inning with not only no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on for the 5th time of 6.
Straight from the printing press to our editor's desk into the newsstands, you can pick up your own copy of the Yellow Jacket newspaper in Buell Hall, the Stover Campus Center, or any of our other newsstand locations on campus. When you get your very own copy, you can read it at your own leisure anywhere around Waynesburg. You can kill time waiting for your next class to start by reading up on campus news and our op-ed pieces. You can even take your copy to the Beehive and catch up with friends as you read up on the latest regional stories. Looking for a peaceful place to read now? Head on over to the Eberly Library. Sit back, relax, and catch up on the latest in Waynesburg sports. Oh, and if you didn't know, we are also digital at theyellowjacket.org.
Welcome back into the Eastview Sports Complex. As our new pitchers, you see number 21, Alex Nicholson, for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets will take the mound. 5'11", 140-pound sophomore from Cortland, Ohio, attended Matthews High School. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's replacing starting pitcher Ethan Earhart. His final stat line, 6 innings pitched, allowing 10 hits, only 1 strikeout, 1 walk on his day. So now for the goal for Nicholson, continue to limit the damage. Try to get your offense back out quickly as Allegheny starts again here with one of their best hitters in Tommy Lanzis. First pitch from Nicholson goes low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Nicholson so far has been one of Waynesburg's more effective bullpen pitchers. 6 appearances, 12 innings, just 3 runs allowed. That's good for a 2.25 ERA.
Lanzis waits Nicholson's next pitch. This one skied high out to left field. Noah Gabriel jogged back, however, calling him off is Lieberger. Lieberger unable to make the catch, and Lanzis making him pay for that one. It's close play at third. However, Lanzis reaches with no competition there. So what's starting out as just a routine fly out to the left fielder of Lieberger, it's going to turn into an E7 if you're keeping track at home, bringing Lanzis 1 base closer to reaching home. Now Matt Jennings steps into the plate for Allegheny.
Yeah, wonder what happened there is the infield will come in all the way around as Lieberger seemed to just lose the ball. I wonder if the wind knocked it down a little bit earlier than Lieberger was expecting. As we'll have a little bit of a delay here. Just an Allegheny player getting the equipment of Lanzis off the field.
Lanzis coming into that at bat was 1 of 2. He was walked in his first at bat in the first inning. Then he gets a single in the third. He hit into a 4-3 double play in the 5th. Now this time he gets out to third base off of the error from Lieberger's. His first pitch to Jennings is taken for a ball, 1-0 count. So Nicholson, only 2 pitches in, is dealing with quite a bit of trouble as Allegheny's pressuring once again offensively, looking to extend the lead from just over 5. This next one comes in high for ball 2. Nicholson listed primarily as an infielder for Waynesburg. However, he does majority pitching. Swing and a miss. There by Jennings, makes the count 2-1.
Yeah, there was a situation in Florida where both Garrett Comer and Noah Gabriel exited the game, and Alex Nicholson came in and played shortstop for the first time in his collegiate career. Yes, he's listed as a shortstop, but like I mentioned, he's one of Waynesburg's better bullpen pitchers.
And Jennings wastes no time, gets this one right up to Hamrick, takes a few hops to him. So Allegheny does extend that lead as Lanzis will reach home to earn Allegheny's its 6th run. It is unearned due to the error. However, it does still count as a run overall. So 6-0 lead for Allegheny off the Matt Jennings single.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from Jennings, recognizing that the infield was in all the way around, shooting one up the middle where nobody could get a piece of it defensively at all. Gets another run on the board for the Gators.
Tyson Bryant Dawson now up to the plate as he takes one off the back. As the speedy left fielder will be given a free pass to first base. However, that's not without getting hit by a pitch first. So now Tyler Skaggs come up to the plate. We've been talking about a few times throughout the broadcast this heavy-hitting top 4 part of the lineup between Lanzis, Jennings, Bryant, Dawson, and Skaggs. All 4 have reached, the first 3 have reached the bases here to start this top of the 7th inning, and Tyler Skaggs is looking to continue that streak. Skaggs 0 for 3, however, did reach off a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Skaggs was one of the 3 runs brought home on the 3-run homer from William Wolf, who is on deck for Allegheny. Nicholson's fires home. This one laced off the left side. That's going to be another base hit. We'll see how many runs are brought home. And Lieberger once again just continuously falling, not able to get any bit of footing, as Skaggs going to reach all the way to third untouched, bringing home the other 2 runs of Jennings and Bryson Dawson.
You know what? I wonder if there's something in left field where Lieberger is just losing his footing. I wonder if there's a wet spot out there because of all the rain that had come in. And unfortunately, he's the one being tasked with a lot of these fly balls. We'll take a look at that line shot double. Another line drive hit today for the Gators. We've seen that throughout the afternoon. And Tyler Skaggs gets his first hit of this game number 2. Plates a couple more runs for the Gators, as that will prompt another mound visit from Luke Kiger.
So it does count there has a single. We'll see. They will rule another error, so it will be a single, and he advanced to third off of an error from Lieberger. So Lieberger collecting his second error of the game. Right now, the stat line for Allegheny, 6 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Waynesburg, no runs, 1 hit on 3 errors.
It's 8-0 Allegheny. The scoreboard has it wrong. Our scoreboard on the Waynesburg University Sports Network, shout out to our truck, has it absolutely correct because 2 runs did come across to score on that single and an error on that hit by Skaggs.
So what started out entering the 6th inning as 4 of 5 runs being scored from William Wolf and his bat have extended out to Nick Banez as well now, reaching for Tyler Skaggs as well. Skaggs traditionally in the top 10 in a few PAC batting categories this year. Is now the person coming to plate is William Wolf, who has 4 of the 8 RBIs today, as I've said a few times already. This first one pitch is taken in from Nicholson as a ball, 1-0 count. Wolf awaits Nicholson's next pitch. Still no outs for this Waynesburg defense as this one skied high, well into foul territory, well over our heads. Reach over to the other side of the road in the guardrail. Count now even a 1 apiece. Waynesburg trying to avoid to be swept for the first time in PAC competition this year. His first 2 PAC games being played today. Nicholson's next pitch pierces the bottom of the zone, count at 1-2. Waynesburg will move on to the road for their next 2 doubleheaders. 1 of 2 being more PAC competition. They'll play Franciscan next in Steubenville, Ohio. And then they head over to La Roche for some out-of-conference action before the in-conference action continues to heat up. Nicholson's next pitch outside near that left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, the doubleheader against La Roche was supposed to happen several weeks ago, but it's finally getting rescheduled, and it makes for a busy week for the Yellow Jackets, who takes on Big Bad Washington and Jefferson on Saturday.
Nicholson's pitch fouled off again, counts it's even at 2-2. Yeah, La Roche has traditionally been the opening day game in February for Waynesburg, the last in majority handful of years. This year, though, was delayed due to weather. Primarily the cold. Field conditions weren't exactly met, so they postponed the game and it was rescheduled now here in the near future for Waynesburg. Nicholson's 2-2 pitch laced up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Wolf. He'll now gain another RBI for Tyler Skaggs. For Wolf, bringing home Tyler Skaggs.
Yeah, Wolf has just had a really good approach at the plate this game. Had a home run, a moonshot against Earhart in the previous inning, and it's just all Allegheny Gators right now. Saw something similar to this in that first game. Obviously, they were up by a lot more, but they put together a lot of runs in a single inning. We're here in the 7th. It's 9-0 now.
So I've received word Mo Kiger is currently warming up in the bullpen for Waynesburg right now.
Also see Zach Scabelli throwing down there. He's in uniform. Mo Kiger is just in a sweatshirt warming up, so we'll see which one of them decides to come in. Kiger did pitch in Waynesburg's last doubleheader against Pitt Bradford. Scabelli did not, at least in game number 2.
Waynesburg working down the depth chart pitching-wise. Trying to get a few different people.
Also of note, there is a pinch runner at first base. Trying to get that information to you. It is number 21, Drew Evans, a sophomore infielder. So he'll come on and run. William Wolf's day is done. He was the designated hitter anyhow, so likely he would not get another plate appearance.
If you're Allegheny, you're very pleased with William Wolf's performance. 5 RBIs, has a 3-run home run to add to it today, so at least for him, he'll be going home much happier as he came in today. As now we are set to resume ball play. As 9-0 Allegheny leads on 13 hits. Allegheny out hitting Waynesburg 13-1 right now. First pitch from Nicholson into Alejandro Semeo. Comes in, low and away in the turf for ball 1. Semeo started 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. Then he reached on a double and was brought home as a part of an RBI from Banez. Nicholson throws back over, trying to keep Drew Evans in check, and he will. Evans reaches back safely. Count remains 1-0 on Sameo. Nicholson checks the runner once again. Evans safe again. Count remains in one piece. Nicholson deals his next pitch. Clips his zone for a strike. Count even at 1 apiece. What started out for a fairly unscathed 1-run, 5 innings of work for Waynesburg has turned in for the last 2 to be unsuccessful. Still no outs for Waynesburg here in this inning. Top of the 7th. 4 runs have scored in this inning as the next pitch high and away for 2-1 count. Nicholson stands and checks his next pitch. Floats in, however, still a little too high, so count goes to 3-1. On deck now for Allegheny is Garrett Leinhardt. Leinhardt, 1 of 3 on the day. Nicholson trying to avoid a walk. His pitch will be hit and on the left field line there for Sameo. Rounding the bases are Sameo and Evans. Evans will be held up at third. Sameo has another double. So 2 straight innings for Sameo to have himself on second base. And now we see Garrett Leinhardt.
Yeah, there will be a number of changes here for the Yellow Jackets. It looks like Danny Flynn will trot out to left. Lucas Liebarger is being checked out of the game. He just came in a couple of innings ago, right after that pinch hit appearance. Looks like we'll also have a pitching change.
If I'm correct, it's Zach Scabelli, as we alluded to earlier.
Good call. It is Scabelli coming out of the pen, the right-handed junior. Impellitteri has a quick chat with Nicholson about his performance. One that started with that E7 to left on what seemed like a routine fly ball. Liebarger lost his footing, and then everything just kind of broke loose from there. We're sitting in a 9-0 score right now. 2 runners in scoring position. If it goes to 10, we'll find ourselves in a similar situation to game number 1, where there's a possibility we could have a mercy rule in 7 innings. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point.
So as we maintain here and let Scabelli get a few warm-up pitches in, we're going to take a check at the last time out. We were talking about the struggles offensively for Waynesburg. They carried over here with a 15-4 loss in game 1 last time out against Pitt Bradford, excuse me. Then a 2-1 loss in game 2. Waynesburg out-hit 22-12 in these 2 games. Waynesburg did have the less amount of errors, however, left 13 on base in that process. Could help bring 2 more wins in the out-of-conference context.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to see Waynesburg play both those Pitt branch campuses because they played a little bit different. And the games are backwards on our graphics, so we apologize for that. Game 1 ended up being a 2-1 final. That Hudson Pinkovich started that game. Game 2 was very freshman-laden as far as the pitchers on the mound went. There were 5 different freshmen that pitched in that game, players who we would normally not see all that often. And the 3 outfielders you see there on the screen, Danny Flynn just checked into the game for Lucas Liebarger, and Zach Scabelli is the only other change on the mound, the right-handed pitcher and junior, like I mentioned, from Ravenna, Ohio. This year has pitched in 5 innings, allowed 7 runs, all of them earned. But, mentioned the power-heavy lineups that the Yellow Jackets have faced. Some of those numbers can get skewed early on in the year.
So the first batter that Zach Scabelli is going to face is going to be Garrett Leinhardt. Mentioned he's 1 of 3 on the day. Had a single his first time up, flown out the last 2. As this first one's fouled off behind us. Count shoots to 0-1 quickly. Waynesburg still looking for their first out of the inning. Of the previous guys, of the previous 5 to come up, 4 have scored in the previous 6 that have come up. 4 have scored, 2 are on base right now. So Allegheny set to at least have 9 guys bat this inning. As this next one comes in, hits the zone for a strike. Count goes to 0-2 for Scabelli. Talked about it with the freshman laid lineup out of conference games for the 4-12 start. A lot of mix matching, trying to find out maybe different positions, different groupings, maybe different things that this Waynesburg team could have for other games down the future, as this one is blown away in the turf for the first ball, 1-2 count.
Yeah, Scabelli brings kind of that curveball and fastball. Those are his primary 2 pitches. We'll see from Scabelli. We'll see if he can drop one in here on a 1-2 count.
Scabelli trying to get Waynesburg's first out of the top of the 7th inning. His pitch low and away in the turf again for a 2-2 count.
That was a slider. And Scabelli, who, I mentioned, faced some tougher lineups in Florida. Really good pitcher. Last year had a 6.75 ERA, but a lot of those were bunched up in a couple of appearances.
Leinhardt wastes no time. He'll smack this one out to Alec Engelmore in right field. 2 runs will score off the RBI single for Garrett Leinhardt. So 2 RBI single, if you're keeping track on your scorecards at home, makes this an 11-0 game for the Allegheny Gators, who have just continuously seemed to tack on the runs. They won game 1, 15-0, looking to do the same amount of damage here. Only 1 run was scored in the first 5 innings for Allegheny. The last 2 is where it has picked up for them offensively. As now you see Nick Banyas step to the plate for Allegheny. Banyas himself, he as well is 1 of 3 on the day. His last time up, he had a double RBI double, excuse me. He waits for the second pitch from Scabelli, who checks first before doing so against for Garrett Leinhardt. Scabelli sends this next one home high and away. Counts now even at 1 apiece. Scabelli sends this one home. Tapped right in front of him. He'll attempt the double play. There to Gabriel is good. However, he will not exchange over to Giraffa. So Waynesburg does collect its first out, and Banyas will reach via the fielder's choice. But that'll be where Grant Dowden steps back up to the plate for his 4th at bat. Rather, his 4th plate appearance. He is 1 of 2. He did reach base on an error from Gabriel earlier in the game. Scabelli's first pitch here to Dowden, low in the turf, ball 1. Waynesburg now down 11-0, being out hit 15-1. An offense last year that Waynesburg seemed to find themselves consistently keeping with and having high octane offense. And with the loss of Todd Burns via graduation, there's a strike is placed, 1-1 count. That definitely is going to do some effects there. Lane Hours as well. He was a bit of a heavy hitter for Waynesburg in his time. Scabelli checks first base with Banyas there. Takes a little shimmy back and forth as this one's well inside. 2-1 count on Dowden. Dowden has himself ready in the box. Scabelli ready as well, and he'll give one to him. Bounce right back up to Noah Gabriel second. He'll give it to Dalton Mount for 1-2 on the double play. Waynesburg collects the nice 4-5-3 double play on Grant Dowden to finally get out of the inning. However, all 9 Allegheny Gators did bat in that inning. And now Waynesburg will have a chance to at least eliminate the run rule. There is now 11-0. Allegheny leads here as we're in transition now. Bit of the 7-inning stretch between these two teams.
Yeah, you got to, at this point, put up 2 runs if you're the Yellow Jackets. Like you said, eliminate that run rule. Walker Cunningham, the right-handed pitcher for Allegheny has faced the minimum so far. He's only faced 18 batters in 6 innings. He was helped out by the double play by Aiden Williams that followed up the Seth Bergdahl single back in the 4th. Otherwise, he'd have a perfect game, no hitter going. You know, don't want to, the announcer's jinx is kind of moot at this point, but Walker Cunningham, it's just kind of amazing how well he's pitching to this point. And Allegheny, really impressed. I think one of the better lineups Waynesburg's going to end up facing. They're facing Franciscan next week, which they were a little bit weaker as far as last season and then the preseason poll. And then Washington and Jefferson just sitting there next Saturday. That's not the best team to face as far as everything goes. They're good at everything. Pitching, hitting, defense, they got it all.
Yeah, Washington and Jefferson sit second in the PAC. And as we talked about the struggles for Waynesburg, they carried over with a not-so-good record in Florida and definitely not so good since. We'll wait our Florida graphic to come in. But, I mean, the struggles continued over. Again, it's a quick stat line as I finished up my little comm math here.
Hey.
6 runs on 5 hits there for Allegheny in that inning. No errors, however, for Waynesburg, and none left on base.
Here it is.
As we'll now see our ending of Florida graphic made. 2-6 in Florida, and then 1-5 since then. However, Waynesburg was dealing with much heavier competition.
Of course.
A few teams that were voted to be nationally ranked in Division III baseball. That is more of just a kind of get everyone some playing time, get some starting time, kind of find out your rotation and lineup. However, since Florida, that's not the answer you're looking to respond with. And Allegheny is continuing to prove that point as Dalton Mount has found his way back up to the top of the 7th inning. He'll be one of 3 guys who are going to try to extend this game to at least have 2 runs in this inning to extend the game and not allow another Mercer roll. He takes ball 1 on the first pitch from Cunningham, and Cunningham's going to send the next one home. Low and away again, ball 2. Dalton Mountain in his 2 previous visits had struck out, both times swinging. As they'll wait for the 3rd pitch. As he lines this one up off the left field line. That is ruled fair, and it will roll out. As this will be the 2nd hit for Waynesburg on the day. Dalton Mounts finds his way with a lead-off double. That one fielded by Bryant Dawson fairly quickly.
Yeah. You mentioned the Yellow Jackets' lack of hits so far. How about the doubles leader hitting another extra base hit? Dalton Mount ripped it down the line. A good piece of hitting from Dalton Mount.
Dalton Mount had 5 entering today. There's another one for him on the stat sheet. Continuing on is now Seth Bergdahl, another man. The only other guy with a hit so far today. He had a single back in the 4th inning. This one's going to be shot up there off Leinhart. Leinhart will be able to corral it off the hop, however, not be able to get throw over. So it will be a hit there for Seth Bergdahl. Bergdahl gets his 2nd of 3 hits on the day for Waynesburg. And now Waynesburg has 2 guys on the base pads with no outs.
A common theme for Bergdahl, especially over the last couple of seasons, he hits himself into a lot of hard hit outs. And he normally, the defender like that makes a play, but there he was rewarded. He's going to get a single, or I think they actually gave Allegheny an error. Not quite sure. I 100% agree with that by the official score, but nonetheless, it's 2 base runners for the Yellow Jackets.
Aiden Williams steps to the plate, the left-handed batter for Waynesburg. He himself is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts, including a double play, hitting into one. Williams coming into today batting fairly well, batting .467. As this next pitch comes away high, 2-0 count for him. So for the first time today, Cunningham dealing with a little bit of pressure with a runner in scoring position and Seth Bergdahl on first. Cunningham will take his pitch and deal it over to Williams momentarily. So here it is. High and away, 3-0 count, 3 straight balls here to Williams. 1 ball away from walking and making the bases loaded. With Alec Engelmore on deck, the leading RBI hitter for Waynesburg. Again, Waynesburg just needs 2 runs to extend this game and not allow the run rule as Cunningham finds a strike zone there. The count's at 3-1.
Yeah, if this game does continue, it'll be interesting to see because they have 2 pitchers warming up. Connor Story's out there in his sweatshirt. Nick Manko getting loose over in the bullpen. 2 freshmen, so see what the Yellow Jackets decide to do.
This next pitch also finds the zone, so from 3-0 to 3-2, Cunningham works his way back in with a full count. 2 on, nobody out for Waynesburg right now. Allegheny currently leads 11-0 over the Yellow Jackets in the first PAC doubleheader of the season for both teams. This one's fouled off. Williams will keep this one alive. Cunningham a few times finds his way dancing with a few different, metaphorically dancing I should say, with a few different Yellow Jackets, but he has been the one to walk away with the success. No runs allowed yet on only those 2 hits. Checks on Dalton Mount a few times, and now he'll send it home to Williams. Williams smacks this one out left field over to Dawson Bryan, and that will land over his head. Misplayed there by the left fielder, and now with Bergdolt staying at second, it'll force Aiden Williams to stay at first, but the run does come home of Dalton Mount, so Waynesburg gets its not only first run of the game, but first run of the day. It's now 11-1, Gators lead.
Yeah, it was kind of a tough situation there as Brian Dawson was going back, not super familiar with playing here at the Eastview Athletic Complex, Waynesburg University baseball field, just kind of losing it there. Goes over his head. Williams hit it hard enough for a double, but Bergdahl on a fly ball and nobody out had to kind of stay back and hesitate for a second. But Waynesburg gets on the board, and if they get one more, Ethan, this game will continue.
So Allegheny will have a meeting of the minds out on the mound. Kind of talk things over for the first time. Allegheny's defense met with some Waynesburg resistance offensively. Waynesburg trying to keep this game alive. As you see, Aiden Williams well placed out to left field, as he just done some good base running from him. He was held up because Seth Bergdahl didn't round too far off second. Seth Bergdahl not really well known for his speed. He's more known for being a contact hitter. In Williams, a little more speed is now. We're set to resume action. Cunningham's ready. He'll send this next one home to Alec Englemore. Alec Englemore, so far today, he's 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout in his first 2 at-bats. On deck behind him will be Trent Giraffa. No outs yet for Allegheny recorded. Similarly to Waynesburg in the top of half of this inning. As Cunningham's next pitch is fouled off right over towards the bullpen of Allegheny. Count is 0-2 on Englemore. Englemore definitely being more swing heavy here at this at-bat. Cunningham checks on Bergdolt at second. And he'll deal home. Another one fouled off for Englemore. The count will stay at 0-2. As have a meeting at the mound again between Cunningham and Skaggs. Cunningham consistently looking towards his left wrist, kind of maybe at the bottom of Glover's wrist. I think there's some sort of technical difficulty or equipment failure with Allegheny right now.
Yeah, even these teams at the Division III level, they have the PitchCom system now that's been implemented in Major League Baseball. So I'm wondering if they just kind of got off track a little bit with what the exact signs were supposed to be as far as the PitchCom, or like you mentioned, a technical difficulty.
Yeah, the last 2 pitches, you were seeing Cunningham immediately just look down at that left wrist where the PitchCom was. But we'll resume play once again as Englemore sends this one over towards us, hit the top of the hill and roll down towards us again. That one was the closest one we've seen all day, besides the one hitting the roof of the pavilion.
I need a haircut, so I actually needed that to be a little bit closer to my head.
That's an interesting way of phrasing a haircut. I don't think I've ever heard that one. But once again, Cunningham's ready on the 0-2 count. Englemore's fouling off the last 3. Doesn't have to this time, as this one's well outside for ball 1. Cunningham has pitched 14 innings so far this year, looking to get half of that in this game alone. As Cunningham is 3 outs away from doing so. This one's going to be chipped foul again from Englemore. Englemore continues to keep this one alive.
This is the part of the lineup to do it, too. Englemore, the RBI leader for the Yellow Jackets so far. 4-year of experience as Waynesburg's primary right fielder.
Bergdolt is on second. Aiden Williams is on first. Those are your base runners. Next pitch is going to be shot well out towards center field. However, this one's going to carry right in the glove of Dowden. No runners will advance, so that dance continues and finishes with, once again, Cunningham coming away with it, as there is now 1 out on the bottom frame of the inning, and Trent Giraffa comes up to bat.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of dance he would really call it. Would you call it like
I call it the tango.
I'm thinking of the tango.
Tango.
Our wavelength was perfect there. I was just doing the tango, a little cha-cha slide action. Kind of getting the hips going.
Absolutely. So now Trent Giraffa, we said, is back here in the box. For him today, Trent Giraffa 0 for 2, ground out and a flyout. This one, though, hits in. It's lands fair. Seth Bergdahl with a heat of steam comes around third base. He will reach home. Aiden Williams advances to third, and Trent Giraffa has an RBI double. So this game will continue. There is no doubt about that. The 2 runs that Waynesburg also needed, they got.
I love it.
With the runs being of Seth Bergdahl and Dalton Mount. Only 1 out. Now Waynesburg has 2 runners in scoring position.
And now we can finally do the cha-cha here. Some runs for the Yellow Jackets this afternoon, and 2 on the board. I love the no-quit attitude from this Yellow Jackets offense, and Giraffa lining a single, or rather a double right there, a hustle double from Trent Giraffa.
So now coming up to bat will be number 15, and you can notice it with the gardening gloves, Mr. Daniel Flynn.
Of course, poking fun at Danny Flynn, the radio GM here in Waynesburg.
As Flynn takes a swing of one low in the dirt, he goes golfing, but it'll be no 2 count. Danny Flynn, 5'11", 190-pound sophomore from Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Mount Lebanon High School, native out there with Mount Lebanon, a very successful baseball program in the WPIAL, so he knows what it's like to be on a successful baseball team. So far this year, hitting over 300 in the few plate appearances he's had. So he's looking for another collegiate hit as he takes that next pitch in. That will record as a ball. Counts at 1-2. Flynn will be replacing Lucas Lineberger, who replaced Jordan Mosley out in left field. Flynn, primarily a right field guy, can play pretty much any position in the outfield, so he'll play left. As this pitch goes low and away, Flynn will swing at it. This is caught and thrown to over by Lyhard. However, Aiden Williams gets back to the base before, so Flynn will reach on a fielder's choice. As now, with that being said, bases are loaded and full of Jackets. Aiden Williams on third, Trent Giraffa on second, Daniel Flynn on first. And coming up to try to continue that streak, Connor Hamrick to bring someone home. Waynesburg has scored 2 runs in this inning, negating the run rule. So now the 11-2 lead potentially to be cut down. Cunningham's next pitch to Hamrick comes in as a strike. First strike, so it's an 0-1 count.
That was a curious decision going back to that ground ball by Flynn. It's a ground ball to the left side. Aiden Williams doesn't have the best speed, and he wasn't running anyways. Why throw it to third? I don't get that. Get the easy out at first. You have 2 outs in the inning with runners on second and third instead of bases loaded with 1 out. I get it's 11-2, but that's just you need to make a smarter play there if you're Lionheart.
Cunningham's next pitch high and away. Counts now 1-2. Walker Cunningham coming into today. We mentioned he has a just under sub 4 ERA, at 3.86. He's nearing that average with 2, and now 3 on base with only 1 out as Hamrick will foul this one into the netting. Count will stay at 1-2. We asked, going back real quick to Daniel Flynn, we asked him why does he wear gardening gloves rather than your normal batting gloves, and he said he's just found himself have more success and a better grip with them. As Hamrick's hit there will line right up to Sameo, as there is now a potential double play. However, staying out of it will be Connor Hamrick. He'll reach off the error. It will be more of the error will be placed on Landis, and another run will score for Waynesburg. So Waynesburg tallies another run, that being Aiden Williams. Is now coming to the plate will be Noah Gabriel. Noah Gabriel, the 5'6" shortstop today for Waynesburg's. Swings and misses on the first pitch. Count goes to 0-1. Giraffa stands at third. Danny Flynn was the one who was out on the fielder's choice at the attempted double play. Connor Hamrick stands at first. Second pitch high and away again. Count goes to 1-1. So Waynesburg's last two batters reach safely on fielder's choices. See what Gabriel does here. This 1-1 count, high and above his head for the second straight time. Starting to see a little bit more sloppy play from Cunningham, unlike what we've seen in the first 6 innings he's played. He's only allowed 1 hit coming into this inning. He's since allowed 3 hits. 3 hits in error have led to 3 runs by Waynesburg. Trying to work back into this game as Gabriel takes a second strike, counts even at 2. 1 more strike and this inning will be over. And then we'll see the Allegheny bats come back up. Walker Cunningham at the mound, deals it home. This one bounced right past the first baseman of Landis, however, recovered by Samoya and recorded to Cunningham, who makes the catch. Gabriel slams down the helmet in disappointment, and that will end the inning for Waynesburg. So what started out as a struggling first 6 was a successful 7th as Waynesburg collected 3 runs and 3 hits there. Your score 11-3. Allegheny leads. We'll step aside and we'll see you for the top of the 8th here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Unable to watch the live stream? Follow our account on X for live updates on the game. Check us out on Instagram as well for game day posts with all the information you need to know, as well as behind the scenes of each production. Our social media team works the hardest to give the best content to all of our audience. We're even on TikTok. You can stay up to date with WCTV on our Instagram account with clips from each of our shows. And last but not least, subscribe to our WCTV YouTube channel to watch those shows in full length. Check us out from Lewiston, WCTV, and the entire Department of Comm.
Welcome back into the Eastview Athletic Sports Complex just off the campus of Waynesburg University, as Zach Scabelli will come out for his second inning of work, replacing Alex Nicholson, who replaced Ethan Earhart. Game that gone away once again from Waynesburg with an 11-0 start. However, Scabelli comes in and helps kind of limit the damage and allow Waynesburg to come on and score 3 runs to extend the game in the bottom of the 7th inning. So we will play on a full 9. 11-3 your score right now. Allegheny out hitting Waynesburg 15-4. Storyline being Waynesburg looking to avoid a PA sweep to start PAC play this year. And now coming up for the 5th time for his 5th plate appearance will be Tommy Lansdis. Lansdis has reached safely 3 of his 4 other plate appearances. First pitch bounced right before home plate, so the count goes to 1-0. Lansdis, first time up, walked. He would get out on a fielder's choice at home. Second at bat was a single, swing and a miss here on this at bat, 1-1 count.
Okay, one change for Waynesburg that I noticed. Ian Trott is now playing shortstop, so Noah Gabriel, who was put out to end the last half inning, is relieved for Trott.
Scabelli's next pitch sent to Lansdis. This one well foul. Count goes up to 1-2. Lansdis in the 5th grounded into a 4-3 double play and then reached on an error and was one of the 6 runs scored in the last inning. So Scabelli with the 1-2 count deals to Lansdis. This one bounces right over to third base of Flambard. Trent Giraffa makes the extension and the grab to get and complete the ground out. So the 5-3 ground out is good. And now Matt Jennings steps up to the plate. He's recorded 2 runs himself, along with 3 singles. Very successful day for him, along with the Allegheny Gators. Jennings playing right field today. This is his first pitch from Scabelli, low and away for ball 1. Scabelli's next pitch comes in. It'll find the zone for strike 1. Zach's next pitch comes in. This one's roped well out into the outfield, making a running play. It's Hamrick. He won't be able to get there. It rolls a few bounces to the wall. And being held up at second will be Matt Jennings. So Matt Jennings, with 3 singles, finds himself his first double of the day. Allegheny now has a runner on second with only 1 out.
Yeah, Jennings, there's no surprise why is given recognition year after year. He's the senior, a pitcher and outfielder this year, hitting 400 coming into today. Ended up hitting 394, so that's how you hit better than Tyson Dawson, who's was 11th last year. All PAC first team as well for Jennings, who has 4 hits in game number 2.
As you said, Bryant Dawson up to the plate now. His first pitch he sees at this at-bat will be high up for ball 1. Bryant Dawson reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, however, didn't leave past the third base side. He flew out into third. He would then reach on a bunt in the 6th and get hit by pitch in the last inning, as he was also one of the 6 runs scored as he fouls this one off. Count now even at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Nick Manco is out there in the bullpen warming up. We saw him in the last inning when Scabelli was on the mound, so we'll probably see Manco, who pitched 2 scoreless innings against Pitt Bradford on Thursday in game 2.
So Zach Scabelli stands back up on the mound. He'll send this next pitch in, and this one will be outside the zone. Count at 2-1. Seeing if you allow Bryant Dawson onto the base pads, you're aware of his speedy ability. Much success in the stolen bases categories. This next pitch finds its way in the lower right-hand corner of the zone for a strike. Count now even at 2 apiece. 1 out for Scabelli to work with a runner on second, the runner being Matt Jennings. Dawson stands in, collects himself, and so will Scabelli. Scabelli wheels and deals. Comes in, this one's towering shot in on the infield. Seth Bergdahl runs back towards the backstop, however, this will land near the sports information. I don't want to call it a press box. I'll call it a press tent, maybe. The press tent.
Press canopy?
You know what? I like canopy better. Canopy there. So, but nonetheless, count stays even at 2-2. As both men will settle in and as we're ready to send it, Scabelli sees the pitch he likes, and he'll throw home. Low and away, another bouncer. Jennings will stay at second. Doesn't think twice about it. Allegheny leads 11-3, 1 game 1, 15-0 in 7 innings with the run rule going in effect there. All impacts the more important conference record. That matters more than the overall record when thinking of standings for the PAC, as this is low and away in the turf for a walk. So Bryant Dawson is walked. He will move himself to first base. Second time he's been walked or hit by a pitch, earning a base. And now we'll see Tyler Skaggs come up to the plate for the Gators. This last time up he had a single and was one of the runs scored. As Scabelli's pitch low in the dirt, in the turf. Ball 1. Tyler Skaggs struck out in the first inning. 5-3 ground out in the third. However, reached the fielder's choice in the 6th, was one of the 3 runs in the William Wolf 3-run home run, and then one of the 6 runs in the last inning's offensive barrage, we'll say. As
we're breaking out all the vocab words here on the second broadcast today. I love it.
That's what I'm trying, trying to expand the vocabulary. But the ball count expands to 2-0, and now 3-0 on Tyler Skaggs. One more pitch. Walks Skaggs, and the bases would be loaded full of Gators. Here it is. Skaggs laces this one foul, so the count goes 3-1. Skaggs entering today batting .472. He played 12 games before playing today, having 3 home runs, tied for first on the team. Scabelli's next pitch is going to be popped up here in the shallow deep field, as this one's going to land over the head of Trott. Or excuse me, yeah, there will be Ian Trott.
That's Flambard now playing shortstop, and it looks like Trott. They just swapped positions, so Flambard went to short, Trott went to third. Interesting.
They didn't tell us. What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened there. I mean, they were both already on the field. Trott started the inning at shortstop. I wasn't losing my mind there, and then they switched at some point in the last 3 batters.
So, off the blooping, towering shot, the bases are now full of Gators. Matt Jennings at third, Tyson Bryant Dawson at second, Tyler Skaggs will reach at first. They will rule that a hit in favor. So Allegheny now has 17 hits on the day with William Wolf at the plate. Is this one another towering shot over towards foul territory? Trent Jarafa takes a few steps and will make the catch. So the out is recorded. There's out number 2. Now Waynesburg one more out, getting away from the inning, trying to go unscathed, believe it or not. Allegheny has not scored any runs here today, as now Alejandro Semeo steps up to the plate looking for his third double or better. He has 2 doubles on the day along with 2 runs. Pitch from Scabelli to Semeo goes low in the turf for ball 1.
Yeah, Sam Io has been really good today, especially the last 2 plate appearances. A pair of doubles he ended up scoring on both occasions. But, I mean, just a collective effort offensively for these Gators.
Skaggs to Semioa. Rains foul. Count will go now even at 1. Scabelli waits, finds his pitch, and sends it home to Semioa, who sends this one on a rocket shot down the left field line. However, bounces off the wall, foul.
Just foul.
If
from Semioa.
That was close to being towards that left field line. Could have been plenty dangerous. However, it does go foul, so the count's at 1-2 on Semioa. Semioa's next pitch lines right over to Trott, steps on the third base bag, and allow Waynesburg to get out of the inning unscathed. So, with that being said, Waynesburg gets out, maintains the 8-run deficit. We'll see how Waynesburg responds to the 11-3 lead held by Allegheny here when we come back on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Welcome back into the Waynesburg University Sports Network, and something that, I mean, we've made apparent throughout our years with here in the department is this is not just you're hearing us and the voices, but this goes much deeper than that. It goes much more out there with the crew. And, I mean, it leads off with the cameraman. You have Cole Keller standing behind the backstop over here. You have Julie Starling to our right. You have Vinny Heller out in center field, or center field camera, and then you have Chris Fox standing on top of a table doing an excellent job maintaining great shots all around. And then it works back into the truck. I mean, Sarah Clegg on replay. I mean, Joe Shirillo, Logan Arblaster taking turns producing, helping put together a great production while one's helping the other. You have Seth Adams in the truck directing a second straight game in a row, and and also being our technical director as well. So it all flows through. Kat Taylor on graphics as well. Brendan Gahagan standing in on audio as well. And as it continues to roll around, I mean, just great work by this fantastic production.
And of course, Braden King, our truck tech guy, things wouldn't move smoothly, and Sarah Clegg on replay as well. Just give her an extra little shout out there because of how great the replays have looked all day long. I know different people have been swapping in and out. This is one of those long days. It's one of those nippy fall-like days here, or early spring days here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. But just everybody behind the scenes has done a great job to make this first of 6 baseball/softball productions go smoothly.
Yeah, the first time ever Waynesburg is doing more than just one baseball and softball game, and that goes with just the advancements that have been made through the Sports Network. Now, as we have a pitching change for Allegheny, as you see here, Aiden Builder steps onto the mound for Allegheny for the first time, so Cunningham's day is over. He went through 7 very impressive innings, only did allow the 3 runs in the 7th inning. Builder's second pitch, this one's go low, so it's 1 apiece. For Aiden Builder, 3 games played this year, hasn't started. He's a sophomore from Harrisburg, PA. Just went to Central Duplin High School. This year he's pitched 4 innings, allowing 3 runs, all earned with a 6.75 ERA. It's his third pitch, well outside again for a 2-1 count. So Allegheny, just this bottom of the frame and the bottom of the 9th inning away from coming away to start 2-0 in conference play this year, as Builder sends his next pitch inside towards Flambird, takes it. Flambird struck out twice today, once in the 3rd inning, once in the 6th. Flambird fouls one off back towards the road, so it becomes a full count, 3-2. No on, no out. This is a leadoff attempt for Caden Flambird. He has Dalton Mount on deck and Seth Bergdolt in the hole behind him. Flambird awaits Builder's next pitch. Here it is. This one a towering shot out towards center field. However, coming in is Dowden to make the routine catch. So now coming up will be Dalton Mount. Dalton Mount was the first of 3 runs scored in that last inning, along with one of the 4 hits that had been rallied today. Dalton Mount, the 2 times he was at the plate before that, struck out swinging. So definitely more of an aggressive batter, willing to swing the bat, trying to make some contact as Builder's first pitch comes to Mount. This one's laced foul off the left field line.
Yeah, every year I'm kind of intrigued to see the walk-up songs for these players. Last year, I think my favorite was the Little Einstein's theme song
Hunter
from
Mamie.
Hunter Mamie, who nixed that this year. I think this year the early winner is Beauty and the Beat by Justin Bieber for Dalton Mount.
Well, Mount trying to use some of that Bieber magic here as the count goes 1-1.
Are you a believer, Ethan? No.
However, I mean, I am a fan of some of the OGs. However,
I agree.
Really not paying attention much since. This Builder's next pitch comes in high and away. Count will shoot to 3-1. Builder stands tall, ready to send his next pitch home. This one high and away. This one will go out to be 3-1. Mount waits for the next pitch. Takes it off the zone. Now the count becomes full, 3-2. No one on, no one out. Or 1 person out. 11-3 lead for Allegheny. So now Builder fires one home high and away, and that'll be a walk. So for the second straight inning, Dalton Mount finds himself on the base pads, looking to repeat the same result as last inning where he rounded himself and got home. It's now coming to play Seth Bergdolt. Bergdolt today 2 of 3, 2 singles. He grounded out in the first, but since then he's 2 for 2.
They gave an E6 on the last ground ball, so technically he's 1 for 3 on the day, unfortunately. But still a good piece of hitting from Bergdolt in his last at-bat, hit it hard.
Mount stands a few steps off first while Builder throws home. Count goes going to be 2-0. It's going to be a quick visit here to Builder from Skaggs. He'll talk over with his pitcher. Talk game plan, maybe see what's coming up next for the heavy hitter of Bergdolt.
Well, what's coming up next for the Yellow Jackets, and you already hinted at it a little bit, it's a doubleheader against Franciscan on Tuesday before playing La Roche on Friday. The next Waynesburg University Sports Network production is next Saturday against Washington and Jefferson, start time of 1 p.m.
Exciting stuff. You said it before, the 6 double, or excuse me, you're seeing the 6 double headers, 12 total games covered by the Sports Network this year. Builders' next pitch goes in. Count will shoot up to 3-0. On deck behind Seth Bergdolt is Aiden Williams. Aiden Williams had an RBI single in the last inning. Builders' next pitch. It's going to be hit by Bergdolt, land right in front of Bryant Dawson. As it advances the runner of Dalton Mount to second. Seth Bergdolt now has his now official second single of the day. Third time on the base pads, and now now coming in to replace Aiden Williams, will be number 46.
That's Landon Leidick. Good call. You got to it right as I did.
Landon Leidick is a catcher and outfielder, 6'2", 205 freshman from Woodsfield, Ohio. Went to Monroe Central High School. Leidick will stand in, the right-handed batter. Swings, he'll bounce one foul towards the Waynesburg dugout. Count goes down to 0-1.
Leidick has played sparingly so far. He saw more pinch runner or defensive replacement time as anything. He's a catcher. 1 for 8 so far in the season.
So Leidick replacing Aiden Williams takes one in the turf. So it'll be a 1-1 count, 1 out, 2 men on. Placing Aiden Williams, again, Williams went 1 of 3 on the day. Had a ground out, bounced into a double play, and then the RBI single in the last inning, as I just mentioned. Leidick takes another pitch high and away. Count goes up to 2-1.
For anyone who's interested in March Madness and the results, St. John's University basketball lost today to Arkansas. 75-66 was the final score. So St. John's and Rick Pitino are out in the second round.
That's a bracket buster.
Yes.
Destroys many brackets as the swing. The check swing will be granted as a swing, so the count goes even at 2. A little bit of a shocker, but Coach Calipari and the Razorbacks, 2 impressive wins to start on March Madness, defeating Kansas, then St. John's. I can almost guarantee you a majority of people had St. John's in that Final Four placement, the 2 seed. But Builder here, while we talk about that, gets the strikeout over Leidick, so now 2 outs. Stand tall for the Gators, as the Gators just need one more to get out of the inning, and now it'll be Alec Englemore coming back to the plate. Englemore is 0 for 3 today. He had a 6-3 ground out, struck out, and then fly out to center field. Englemore, we've mentioned a few times, leads the team in RBIs to 17 as he takes a quick swing and a miss to start the count at 0-1. He now has 2 guys on base to help maybe add that. Dalton Mount on second, Seth Bergdolt at first. Bergdolt, as the sun brightens this gloomy day, fouls one off towards the Allegheny dugout to send the count to 0-2. Now Englemore takes this next pitch, sends it out to right center field, where you'll see Matt Jennings make the play and get the final out of the inning. So Alec Englemore will fly out to Jennings to complete the inning. Waynesburg only having, with no runs, only having 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. We'll go to the final inning. Waynesburg looks to hold off Allegheny from holding anymore, and obviously trying to, for themselves, tack some more on. They'll go down to the 9th inning with an 8-run deficit. So we'll come back with a pitching change on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Welcome back into the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Final inning of baseball here today from our doubleheader. As Waynesburg lost game 1, 15-0. Looking to potentially not repeat that as they're down 11-3. Faced with a tough test here is there is a pitching change for the Yellow Jackets. Freshman pitcher Nick Manko, 6'1", 160-pounder from Upper St. Clair High School, Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. Very good athletics program, speaking of which, in the WPIAL. Mentioned earlier with Denny Flynn for being from Mount Lebanon. Nick Manko from Upper St. Clair. Only one appearance so far, has 2 scoreless innings on the year. Shown some impressive stuff from our scout, Anthony DeFilippo, who spent some time with the team in Florida while they were on their trip, broadcasted down there.
Yeah, it was a lot warmer, I think it goes without saying.
Yeah, that does go a lot. It is no need to bring it up once again. However, the sun is out, and there is no projected rain for now.
No palm trees up here.
No palm trees. Yeah, just trees with branches as Manko's first pitch comes in low and away for ball 1 to start off our 9th inning. Much prettier view down in Florida, I'm sure, right now than right now here in Waynesburg. But Nick Manko sends his next pitch home. This one behind the back of our batter of Garrett Leinhard. Leinhard, 2-4 today. He's flown out twice, however, does have 2 singles, one of which was a 2 RBI single. Leinhard, next pitch. He takes a strike, so count goes up to 2-1. Manko sends this one home. This is a towering shot high up in the air. Bogdo runs over towards the dugout. However, it will run off the back of the roof. So count goes even at 2-2.
Yeah, you mentioned Manko, a good freshman pitcher, has only made 1 appearance. 2 scoreless innings against Pitt Bradford on Thursday. So he's had good stuff so far. I'm intrigued about what kind of stuff he can bring to the Yellow Jackets this season.
Manko lines, fires. This one bounced right over to Ian Schrott. He'll take it off a bounce, throw it over Giraffa with a reach in the turf. Trent Giraffa's foot apparently dragged off according to the infield umpire. Giraffa a little displeased with the call. So you'll see Leinhard get another base here in inning number 9. Giraffa now talking over to Dalton Mount saying, I think I got my foot on there. And you'll see head coach Pelletieri come in. And Pelletieri trying to get maybe some sort of word in, maybe trying to convince the umpire of a different decision. However, I doubt that's likely.
The official scoring on that is going to be an error on Trent Giraffa for missing the base. And from our angle, we actually have a pretty good view. Obviously, no better view than the umpire would, but it certainly looked like Giraffa's back of his cleat was on the base. We'll actually take a look at it right here. We got a replay. Wow.
Sarah Clegg.
All right, let's run that back again because I was missing it. Yep, you see right there. It's a matter of inches. I mean, I don't even think the resolution.
I think it started more off and worked its way back on.
Ooh.
But
good job, Sarah.
Nonetheless, it'll be Leinhard who gets to first. Manko trying to pick off Leinhard, however, will not be successful. Leinhard takes a few steps again as Manko refocus himself back to Nick Banez. Banez today takes the first pitch inside ball 1. Banez so far today, 1 of 3. As Manko checks back over to Leinhard, he'll send home to Banez, though. Banez smokes this one to the left side, however, that is foul, so count will run even at 1. Nick Manko likes the pitch he gets from Bergdolt, so he'll be set to send it home. Here it is. This one finds its way in bottom half of the zone. Count now at 1-2. Manko 1 strike away from getting a strike, the all-important strikeout, the first out of the inning. Leinhard was the leadoff batter. He found his way to first base off the error from Giraffa. What looked to be more in the zone appears to be more out, so count run even at 2-2. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming here. This one's going to be smoked well out to Allegheny. However, it goes right to him. And Leinhard will not try to tag up or go any further, so Banez will be tallied down for the F9 here in inning number 9. as now Grant Dowden steps up for Allegheny. His 4 previous at-bats, he has reached twice, once off an error, so on the stat sheet he's 1 of 3 on the day. He had a single, reached on an error, and then had 2 groundouts to follow. So
and this is a pinch hitter. This is number 1, Liam Irving, the freshman, pinch hitting for Dowden.
Irving takes the first pitch for a strike. Next pitch is swing and a miss by Irving there. Manko, good stuff there to force Irving to take the swing. This is now an 0-2 count. Freshman on freshman. Manko's next pitch is dribbled to Trot. Trot to Mount. Mount over to Giraffa for the double play to get out of the inning. Top inning is over. And now we head to the bottom half where Waynesburg has to score 9 to win, at least 8 to extend it. Will the Yellow Jackets be able to do it? You'll just have to come back and find out for the bottom half of the inning here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Welcome to the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the print collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
Welcome back in as we are 3 outs away from concluding our second game of our doubleheader. Allegheny winning game 1 15-0, currently lead 11-3 here in game 2. As Builder comes out for his second inning of work, going to try to close out what is a strong performance started by Walker Cunningham. Walker Cunningham came out 6 strong innings. In inning number 7, Waynesburg scored their 3 runs. That would finish off Cunningham's day, and then Builder comes in the last inning. He had 2 base runners, however, was able to hold them off. And now we come up to a Waynesburg lineup in the bottom half of the lineup where it will be Trent Giraffa, the first baseman, to lead us off, followed by Daniel Flynn, then Connor Hamrick. Those are the 3 guaranteed to get an at-bat here in this inning. As Skaggs gets his throw down, Builder will retrieve the ball, and we will begin. Trent Giraffa, so far today, he is 1 of 3. He grounded out in the 2nd, flew out in the 5th, and then had a RBI double in the 7th inning. So Builder versus Giraffa. First pitch comes in well low, getting on the turf before home plate. Trent Giraffa last year, he's a sophomore this year. Last year, freshman, a very impressive freshman campaign for him as this next pitch he takes is low and away near the turf again for ball 2. However, Trent Giraffa last year, some accomplishments. He started 35 of all 36 games played, only missed 1 game the whole season. His next pitch is taken for ball 3, 3-0 count. Ranked 3rd on the roster in batting average. He batted .313. That's very, very impressive for freshman numbers. Time for the teed lead with 9 doubles. He ranks 2nd on the squad in walks allowed as well for 20 as he takes a strike there, 3-1 count.
Yeah, Giraffa, a big reason that Waynesburg made the playoffs last season, coming in, the starting and primary first baseman right off the bat, hit over 300, and like you mentioned, all those extra base hits to go along with it.
Giraffa fouls this one off towards the car off the road, but count will go full at 3-2. No one on, no out. Giraffa leading off the inning. The Hanover, Maryland native, attended DeLone Catholic High School. DeLone Catholic, technically, fun fact, is in Pennsylvania as Giraffa forces the walk. So he had 20 walks last year, and he'll get 1 today. So
yeah, I know where you're going with the DeLone Catholic storyline. By the way,
I wasn't going to bring him up. I was just going to let that one sit there and marinate. But
one of our leaders in the department. Joe Chirillo also went
roommate.
to DeLone Catholic, and your roommate,
He did,
of course,
yeah.
of course.
But it's funny because from Maryland, you travel from Maryland to Pennsylvania to go to school, then back down to Maryland after. As now Daniel Flynn has worked his way back up. Speaking of department players,
2 states a day. That's an interesting path.
Flynn, his last time up, reached on a fielder's choice. As Builder checks over to Giraffe and throws back to Flynn. Flynn swinging the miss in the turf, so count goes to 0-2.
You got the Builder against the Gardener right now.
With the guarding
really
gloves.
Think about
Yes.
it, you got the guarding gloves.
It all ties back together. Kind of crazy how that works. As Danny Flynn stands ready for his next pitch from Builder. Builder sends it home high and away. 1-2 count now. Giraffe stands on first. Waynesburg needing 8 runs to extend this game into extra innings in free baseball. However, the way Allegheny's been playing, the odds are not likely. Waynesburg, all 3 runs coming in the 7th inning. This one finds just outside the zone, count even at 2-2. Key thing to note, Waynesburg scored his first 3 runs of the day as a whole. The doubleheader held to a shutout. Builder's next pitch finds the bottom of the zone. Flynn will watch it pass as that's a strikeout for him. So the first out of the day comes against Danny Flynn. Now Connor Hamrick will come up to bat, trying to find his way back on to the base pads. Hamrick's last time up, he reached on a fielder's choice as well. Hamrick, the right-handed batter, stands in ready for Builder's pitch. Check swing a little too late on it, goes around, so it counts as an 0-1 count. More commonly, rather than not, you'll see a lot more aggression swing-wise from Waynesburg batters. As this throw over towards Giraffe is off. Giraffe will stay on. Landis, good job to go around Giraffe to make the catch. Not allow it to seek back towards us and out of play where Giraffe could extend and move to second base. As now Aiden Builder's next pitch comes in. Low and away, just under the zone for the count even to be at 1. Hamrick awaits the next pitch from Builder, and here it is. Swinging a clean miss, a late swing at that. Count will go up to 1-2. Builder one strike away from getting away from Hamrick and bringing up your next guy in the Waynesburg lineup. But it would be Ian Trott, replacing Noah Gabriel, who started this game. Aiden Builder checks, fires this one, fouled off. Hamrick keeps the dance alive. We're back to the tango. Anthony, the good old-fashioned tango.
Living la vida loca. That's what I just think about that when I'm doing the tango at this point in the day.
So Hayden Builder now ready to send it home. See if this dance continues, and it will, as Hamrick again fouls another one off.
Gotta sing a different song between each pitch. I won't sing again on air.
We're calling Dancing with the Stars. We're going to get Anthony on there.
I'm not much of a celebrity or a celebrity at all, so I wouldn't do very well in auditions. But
you're on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. No
right.
reason to worry about that. As Aiden Builder's next pitch well outside towards the left-hand batter's box. Count will be even at 2 apiece. So number 3, Aiden Builder versus number 3, Connor Hamrick. It's fouled off again by Hamrick towards the backstop. And again, the count will stay even at 2-2, and the dance continues. Hamrick set now in the batter's box as Builder gets set on the mound. Giraffe a few steps off first. Not much of a stealing threat there as Hamrick will get just enough of that towards home plate, the bounce off, so he stays live for one more pitch. Giraffe not much of a threat on the base pads. He doesn't steal a lot of bases. And again, one of those more well-known contact hitters for Waynesburg. As this one gets away though from Landis. Builder's throw goes over Landis' head, and Giraffe will get that free base. So alluded earlier, the check down throw was off. However, not away. This one does get away from Landis. And now Trent Giraffe moves one base closer to getting home for Waynesburg. And that also means a Waynesburg runner is in scoring position. Connor Hamrick stands at home with the 2-2 count. Here it is. High, just off the zone, just misses his builder, so now the count runs full. Hamrick and Builder back and forth. Few foul balls, few good reads by Hamrick. This is a very good at-bat for him. Sophomore takes that next one away for the ball, and that will be a walk for him. So Connor Hamrick starts off swing heavy. He will get himself onto first base, though, forcing the walk, and now coming up will be Ian Schrott.
Not before a pitching change.
As Brandon Crum, the leader of this Allegheny team, comes on to make the exchange and talk to his team. We'll have a chance, Brandon Crum, this is his 8th season with Waynesburg. However, he did start with the team in 2010. But before this, in 2017, he was the head coach at Mercyhurst. As now is with the pitching change, we're gonna step aside. We'll learn more about Brandon Crum after, and then more about our new pitcher here on the other side of this break on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
Welcome back in as Evan Belkin will get the duties to try to get the final 2 outs for the Gators to complete the clean sweep and start 2-0 in PC play. A few things to know about Mr. Belkin. He's a freshman right-handed pitcher, 5'11", 165-pounder from Austin, Texas, James Bowie High School. And now Ian Schrott steps in for the batter's box, replacing Noah Gabriel. Gabriel started at shortstop today, and so did Schrott replaced him there. However, Schrott, though, naturally moved to third base as he takes the first pitch down low for a strike. On deck for the Yellow Jackets is Caden Flambard. He will be the next one up to bat for the Yellow Jackets as Belkin ready for his next pitch on the 0-1 count. This one goes way low, and that will advance both runners. Both Waynesburg runners advancing a base. Giraffa now stands at third base, and off is Connor Hamrick at second. So the 2-0 count turns into a base extending 2-0 count.
Like I said, it's that no-quit attitude from Waynesburg. You know, wild pitch goes to the backstop. You get a move up a base. You hit a couple runs on. You get a big hit here, and all of a sudden it's a closer game.
Count now moves up to 3-0. The freshman getting some opportunities with the 8-run lead. However, with the way things have been going, Waynesburg kind of seeming to put on some of the pressure with their patience at bats. I talked about the heavy swings as there you'll see a strike from Belkin. Get the 3-1 count going. Waynesburg a little more patient and poised in these last few at-bats rather than swing heavy, what we saw earlier. As Belkin's next pitch is going to be rifled high and well fouled. This one will bounce right next to the fence on the right field side. So the count goes full, 3-2. Waynesburg 2 runners on with only 1 out. Schrott in a battle with the freshman of Elvin Belkin. Belkin stands tall, set, throws, fouled off by Trott. Count will stay even at 3-2. I was talking about it before the break with head coach Brendan Crum. A fun fact, as we now see Belkin's next pitch come in, misses the zone and will load the bases with the walk there to Ian Schrott. With Crum coming in, with his 8th season with the Gators. Last year, Allegheny making the playoffs, and so far this year, poised themselves to be better in that position. With a win today, they'd be 7-7 overall and 2-0 in PAC play. More importantly, as now we see Caden Flambard come in. Flambard, his last time up, flew out to center field to Dowden. Count 1-0 for him. We'll watch another one pass by. This one is a strike, 1-1. Freshman versus freshman as Flambard sends this one to the gap. That'll fall in for a base hit. 2 runs will score for Waynesburg. Trott pushing for third. He'll get there. Clean slide. Gets away towards the Waynesburg dugout. Trott from third to home. No one paying attention, and Flambard extends to third. Base clearing. 3-run triple. Caden Flambard. It is now 11-6. Waynesburg cuts the deficit down from 8-5.
I really like the awareness there from Caden Flambard, who will officially only probably get a single on the score sheet, but he was able to move up to second base on the throw, force a throw from the center fielder Dowden, and was able to get in safely to third base. Look at this piece of hitting. He already has 2 RBI on the season, able to line it into center field, clear the bases up, and now it's 11-6. Still 1 out, Ethan.
So Giraffa, Hamrick, and Ian Trott all scored. They were the 3 runs, and Flambard pushes to third. Only 1 out now for Waynesburg as Dalton Mount steps to the plate looking to continue to add on those runs. Counts 1-0. Dalton Mount, his last 2 times, has reached with a double and a walk. Mount swings this one well foul. Count will go up to 2-1. Dalton Mount last year, his junior season, CSC All-District team. He was one of 2 players to start all 42 games for Waynesburg. He led Waynesburg in hits with 47, runs of 34, walks of 28, and total bases of 59, along with stolen bases of 17. So big stat year for Mount as he laces this one down to center field, falling in front of Dowden. So it will score Flambard as there's an RBI single. Dalton Mount getting that one to go. So now what started out 11-3 is now 11-7. Waynesburg only down 4 runs, a more manageable game as Allegheny will leave in Belkin, the freshman. Watch again. Lower half of the zone, Dalton Mount gets enough of that one. Just lands kind of in no man's land in front of Dowden and behind Leinhard. Seth Bergdahl gets a piece of this one. That falls down. Another base hit for Seth Bergdahl. Dalton Mount wanting another base. He'll get to third, clean, standing up. And Seth Bergdahl, for the 3rd time today, gets another single. Dalton Mount forces his way over to third base. And now comes up Landon Leidick. Came in the last inning.
And all of a sudden, the tying run is on deck, Ethan. Improbably almost. Landon Leidick in a bigger spot than what he probably thought he would be if he got up again.
Leidick struck out his first and only time up. This one is going to bounce right to third base. Double play in contention, and there it is. So Allegheny with a little bit of a scare there, allowing 4 runs rather, but Allegheny will hold strong off the double play hit from Leidick. So your final score of game 2, 11-7. Final score of game 1, 15-0. Both won by Allegheny. So the Gators will start 2-0 in PAC play on the year, while Waynesburg will drop down to 0-2 in PAC play there to conclude the day. Well, it's been a long, rainy, cold day here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, so we're going to send you off. We hope you've enjoyed doubleheader baseball action. Don't worry, though, we will be back next week, next Saturday, as the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets will play host to Washington and Jefferson Presidents, and we'll have that all here for you at the same time, same place, against there here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. For myself, Ethan Spazarski, my partner, Anthony DeFilbo, for Tyler Aaron, Logan Arblaster from Game 1, and our fantastic, amazing crew, we sign off and say so long. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Your final score again here from Game 2, 11-7. Allegheny defeats Waynesburg. Have a great night, everybody.
This has been a presentation of the Waynesburg University Sports Network.